We live, baby. We live. Episode 2 of MMA Uncensored podcast. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday night. It's hump day, and we're just chilling. And I just want to thank everybody that's joining the show live. We got a great show. We got a very, very special guest co-host tonight, which I cannot wait to bring him on. But yes, ask your questions, everybody, because we are live. So your questions will pop up on screen. Your comments will pop up on screen. Keep it clean. Otherwise, you get the boot. We don't want to boot anybody. But anyway, welcome to the show, episode 2. Really looking forward to it. We got Dr. Beau. Hightower was supposed to be calling in tonight. He's seeing patients right now. And then we also have Kier Mellour at 9 p.m., the beautiful and talented Kier Mellour. So I cannot wait for you guys to experience this. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up my partner, Chris. Chris, what's up, man?
It's time.
It's time, baby.
What's
It's time.
up, Joe? How are you?
Chilling, bro. It's Wednesday, man. I'm excited, bro. You know, I'm happy to be here, be on this podcast as always, and that's it, baby. I'm still employed, so I'm very happy about that, and I'm drinking tequila tonight. So, salute to you.
Salute to you. What type of tequila are you drinking, young man?
Just a little 1800 tonight with a little freshly squeezed lime juice. So,
Wow,
very excited about it.
I like
But
it.
do you believe it? We have a very special co-host that's going to be co-hosting with us this evening. Should I bring him in?
I think you should bring him in.
I'm gonna bring him
Let me
in.
just say something about this guy. This guy is, man. I just want to talk to him and listen to him and learn from him. This guy is inspirational. Go for it, Joe.
Yes, the one and only, one of the baddest SOBs on the planet, Mr. James Krause. What's up,
What's up,
dude?
guys?
James Krause.
What's up? How's it
How
going?
are you,
You guys can keep going, man. Don't stop just because I'm on now. Keep going, keep going.
We're chilling, but now you're a part of the live feed, bro. So now
Yeah,
you in now, dog. You in.
Cheers,
So,
I
James.
love it. I
Yeah.
appreciate.
Cheers to you, brother. By the way,
Thank you, guys.
my pleasure, man. Happy to have you on, and it's been a wild time for a lot of people. We got this coronavirus thing going, this crazy pandemic. How is it in the life of a UFC star? What's been going on? How have you been affected personally and professionally by this pandemic?
Well, everything I do is I would consider myself. I don't like calling myself an entrepreneur because I feel like everybody just assumes you're a drug dealer if you say that. But
Or a prostitute.
or a prostitute. Yes, I mean everything that I do is I've never really had like say never. I haven't had a regular job in a long time, so everything I do is on my own. You know, I'm self-employed, so the gyms are shut down. Obviously, I've been training still, small group, a couple people here and there, but I've been training, but the gyms are shut down, so we've just been trying to upgrade, update, clean, organize, get ready for hit the ground running whenever it opens back up. Real estate is a little dicey right now. I have a couple of Airbnbs I have one that is empty and one that's full just from somebody staying there for the whole month. My goal with them is just to find somebody to stay there and break even, maybe lose a couple $100 rather than, losing the entire mortgage, lights, utilities, all that stuff. So, and then really, I mean, everything else is, you guys know that, I mean, all what you guys are experiencing, it's pretty crazy times out there. I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, it drives me nuts because I'm on the go constantly. So it's tough for me. I just to get out of the house seems like it's like I'm coming home. I'm normally putting in like 10, 12-hour days. I leave at like 7, 8 in the morning. Don't get back until 7, 8 at night. And I'm gonna come home at like 1 or 2, trying to find stuff to do. It's tough. So yeah. How about you guys?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm very, very lucky. I'm a IT manager for my company, so I'm working remotely right now from home, and so I'm blessed, man. I'm very happy, and then I also have these podcasts here, so
Yeah.
Thank God, I'm okay right now. So hopefully, nothing changes.
Yeah. No, it sounds like you're in a good spot.
Yeah, same for me, James.
Yeah.
Everything stopped. I'm not traveling to events. I'm not, covering events. Everything's on pause. So, that's why we're doing this podcast to give some people some things to talk about, to call in and talk to you, ask you questions, to give this platform for you to share things.
Oh man, I appreciate it a ton, and I will say this: there has been some good things that come out of this, and this being one of them. You know, more interaction. Like I've been doing, gosh, I can't tell you how many Instagram lives I've been doing. I've been doing them all over. Every podcast, everything I can do, I've been taking, and it's good. You know, I think it's good. It's practice for multiple layers for fighting and stuff like that. This guy right here is trying to interrupt me. Get out of here. Yeah, so it's good, man. And I feel like there's what I love about this whole time is there's like for me, there's like a clear cut line in the sand of like you're either making it happen, you're doing something, you're being productive, or you're just watching Netflix or wasting your time away doing nothing the entire time. So it's cool to see like who's on their game and who's just kind of playing around.
I agree with you, James. Like I think now for a lot of people, strike while the iron is hot. Everybody thinks we're in a pandemic. It's crazy right now. We're in quarantine, so now we have to listen to what the media tells us. But then you get those wolves, bro. That aren't the sheep that are out there hustling and taking advantage of the time that they have. So I'm with you. But how is it for you? Like, man, juggling, training, having your Airbnbs, your investment properties. How do you maintain all that time? Do you have somebody that helps you, or you do this all on your own?
I have some help in some things. I do some of it on my own. Yeah, I will say this. I filmed an entire online wall course that's coming out next week, or maybe even this week. An entire online wall course, like wall wrestling, cage wrestling, that I'm gonna put out. So that was cool that I got that entire thing formatted and filmed since this whole thing's happened. So that was a big accomplishment for me. But I mean, so with the gyms, I have a minority partner. The gyms are mainly mine. I own the building that we're in, and right now we have two up and functioning, and then in the middle of this whole mess, we're opening up a third location also, which is then you can imagine how challenging that's been.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gyms do really well. We're doing a lot of we have a really loyal following. We're doing a lot of online stuff right now. It's definitely not the same, but we're doing good enough, better than a lot of the fitness and gym areas are right now.
Yeah. So how is that like you're in Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How is that for you? As far as like dealing with, do you have to deal with any like business loans, or is anything on hold right now getting those properties going?
I mean, the only thing that's really affected me so far would be like the city permits and stuff like that. Opening up the third location, they're not, the city workers aren't really working in that department, at least. I shouldn't say they're not working. It's slow. So we just went live on our lease a couple of days ago. We started build out yesterday, and so that's been interesting. But like in terms of the like the actual businesses and stuff like that, I mean, I'm weird, man. I like stuff like this to happen because for me, this is like a hard reset. That it's like you change the rules on everybody, and everybody freaks out. And I like it whenever you change the rules because I'm able to adapt and adjust and overcome. And, so it's cool for me that like people scramble and this really shakes people up. I'm going to be good, man. Like I've set myself up to where if something like this happens, I'll be good for, I'll be good for a while. So it's like,
good for you.
I'm able to adapt and adjust. And so we're in a good spot, man. I'm not really concerned. I like this because whenever we hit the ground running, everybody's going to be shook up. A lot of the small gyms, like if you're playing hobby, if this is a hobby to you right now, doing gym or fitness or any of that stuff, you're closing down. You know what I mean? Like you can't keep the doors open anymore. So I'm gonna get a lot of that low hanging fruit. This will be a good thing for me at the end. It sucks right now, but it'll be good towards the end.
Yeah, man. I think the economy is going to boom after all this. I think people are, businesses are going to have to reopen. They're going to have to hire people. A ton of people are going to get hired. Gyms are going to open again. Sports will be back. So I think we'll be okay. We're going to recover from all this. But
if I go to Target or wherever, I'm just looking for a reason to spend a stupid amount of money. Like, whatever.
What else could you do?
I mean? Like, I don't have anything else to do. Like, why not? Let me spend some money.
What are you gonna buy if you go to Target? You're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna spend some money. What are you going? What goes on in your head?
we went the other day and we spent $785. I don't even know what the hell we bought. We bought a new vacuum cleaner, one of the Shark vacuums. We walked out and my wife hit me with like, let's stop by Target, and we ended up $800 later. She's back here yelling. Oh yeah, we saved 40. Sorry, we saved 40. Sorry.
Now let me ask you: did you get toilet paper?
I think we're good on that. I don't. My wife does all the shopping, and I haven't heard that be a concern yet.
That's awesome. Good. So, yeah, because people, at least here in Florida, I'm in West Palm Beach, they're killing each other for toilet paper right now. It's been freaking crazy, man.
I was just in Jacksonville, like even after all this happened. There was that last fight, that pro fight card that happened in Jacksonville. I was there, and even being a part of that was crazy. It was a crazy experience.
Was that combat night?
Yeah, I think so.
Combat night,
I think so.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. Good friend of mine, Mitchell, runs combat night.
Oh, it was a good organization. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Very cool. I want to ask you, man. I mean, obviously, this fight you had with Giles, bro. I want to know. Like, I want to start. And I got to ask you this, man. But how did this come about for you? Like, what happened on your end? Obviously, the media says everything they say. I don't care about them. I care about you. What happened on your end?
So on my end, I was sitting at lunch. This would have been Thursday. No, Friday. This would have been Friday. I was sitting at lunch. We're talking probably 1:30, 2 p.m. And it was like I had a rice bowl, steak. I had a Coke, like a can of Coke I had. And literally just finished. And Jason House, he's part of the management team. He gets a text and says, Arroyo is on his way to the hospital, and they didn't say anything about him being out of the fight or whatever. They're like, we got to talking at the table about, hey, like, well, if he's going to the hospital, he's out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just like, in passing, I was like, what I said was I'll fight that motherfucker. Like, I'm not, I'm not afraid of that dude. And he's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, we got to talk numbers, but yeah, I'll fight him out. And I never in a million years thought this would go through. First of all, I didn't think they would let me. I didn't think the UFC would let me do it. Second of all, I didn't think like with the weigh-ins or whatever, I wasn't, I wasn't sure about that. So I was like, I'll fight him. He goes, dude, he's like, we may be able to make it happen. I was like, do your thing, whatever, And anyway, so we go and they're like, so this is getting closer. This is starting to like work through the process. They're like, hey, they accepted it on their end. Do you guys really want it? And I was like, yeah. I said I'll fight the dude. Like, yeah, I'll take it. So they already weighed in that morning, though. You know what I mean? So the weigh-ins were over.
How many hours before?
Well, the weigh-ins were 9 to 11, and this is 2. So do that math. 3 to 5 hours. And so I go back, and they're like, hey, I said, look, because the shuttle left for 3:30. It left at 3:30 to go to the media weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins. And I said, look, you guys need to figure this out. You guys need to figure this out before then, And I was, because I'm not going to get riled up or whatever, and it's not going to happen. So Mick calls and he says, look, you're in. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not in yet. You know what I mean? So you guys need to figure this out because I wanted more money. That's the thing. Like, look, if I'm going to fight this dude, this big motherfucker, I'm not going to fight this dude. Like, he's double my size. Fight this big ass dude. And I said, we got to figure out the money. He's like, you're in. I'm like, hell no, I'm not in. Y'all need to figure out. Y'all need to figure out what the money is. And I already had the number set in my head of what I wanted. And it wasn't anywhere. They weren't trying to give me more money at first. Wow. They didn't want to pay me anymore. I said, well, I'm good then. You know what I mean? Like, I fly here to corner somebody. I'm not trying to lose a fight with no training, literally zero training camp. Yeah. And not to mention on Thursday, I trained for 6 hours on Thursday. I woke up sore as shit.
Yeah.
I was so sore. And so anyway, we worked through it, and they're like, hey, you got to go to weigh-ins. And I'm like, I'm not going to weigh-ins. You guys aren't going to get me on this goddamn scale in front of all these people. And then you guys don't want to pay me anymore. And then I look like a punk for not taking the fight. That's not happening. So I said, you need to figure it out by 3:30 or I'm not taking the fight. 3:30 rolls around, no call. And we're like, okay, cool. I'm just going to assume I don't have the fight then. About 3:45 rolls around. And they say, okay, let's talk the money. Now they wanted to talk money. And then like they went from no money to the amount I wanted, and I'm telling you, it was a big difference. Like it was a very large difference of gap, and in a matter of like 15 seconds, they went pop, 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 and then they stopped right before the number that I wanted. And Jason looks at me and he goes, "Hey, this is the number you wanted." I said, "Nope, they gotta go like this." Like, guys, I'm fighting the dude twice my size.
Right.
I'm a big lightweight, but it just doesn't make sense for me to cut the weight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I walk around and I was 92 yesterday. So, but I've been trained because I trained for 6 hours on Thursday. I was 186.2. And anyway, so they got the number and they put me on a shuttle to weigh-ins. I literally weighed in. Like when you see me walk out for the ceremonial, I weighed in probably 5 or 10 minutes before that. Okay. And stepped on a scale, faced off, and you guys seen the rest.
Yeah.
That was a war.
Yeah.
That was a war.
I know. I'm not happy about it.
Did you get an extra $50K for that fight, or extra $100K or something?
I got a fight of the night bonus. Yeah, Dana said that he's gonna take care of me. I don't know what that means. He still hasn't yet, because I mean I know he's got bigger stuff going on right now, but I'm hoping he don't forget about me.
He's buying an island. Maybe you can get a little spot for a week or something. You know.
I know, man. I'm trying to get on the island fights. Let me get on the island fights.
He's looking like he's having a good time out there.
Yeah, that'd be a reward. Yeah. I heard Rose Namajunas just backed out of her fight. I'm not sure, injured or whatnot. So they're looking for a fighter for Jessica Andras.
I'll fight her.
What?
No, that's I seen
Triple
that too.
C over here.
Too. Yeah, I seen that too, and I thought that was weird because she's not hurt or anything like that. You know, so I was curious. You know, wonder why that is. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. Big fan of Rose and her husband Pat Barry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pat Barry.
Pat's a monster. I wish he would fight more. I wish he would kickbox.
Me too. Yeah, he's a beast.
You know what I mean? He's fun to watch.
We're gonna have Czech Congo on the show soon, James. Remember that fight with him and Pat?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Man, probably the craziest fight of all time, right? Like
amazing.
That round.
Biggest comeback ever.
Joe Rogan's going crazy. He's out. And he gets up again. Like, what the fuck is going on?
That has to be the greatest comeback of all time. In any combat sport, I have to think, or at least top 3.
Wow. It's up there. I mean,
it was
maybe Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen 5th round. That was a good comeback.
Yeah, that's up there too. That's
it's just like the way Czech went down, got up, went down again. Like
he was out.
He was out. He was like the Undertaker, bro. That motherfucker just like got up. I'm like, how?
He's set up.
Dude. I'm like, bro.
Boom. It's like, oh.
Dude, when he landed that left right, it was over, bro.
Yeah, crazy, man. Crazy. I don't get like super hyped very often. Like, of course I get hyped, but like I don't jump out of my seat very often. And there's 2 fights that I can think of that I was like, oh, like a cat, like grabbing. And it was that fight, and then when Conor knocked out Aldo. Those are the 2 fights that, like, you know, it's just craziness. So you didn't think that was going to happen like that.
Right. You know, I think that was actually a proper 12 knockout, not 13. If you look at it, it was 12 seconds.
Okay, I see what you did there. Is Conor sending you royalties, bro?
Bring it out, Chris.
I do have this signed a bottle of proper 12. It's empty, though. It's empty, James. That's
good.
Did you drink it? That's the question.
No, me, Team SBG, Artem Lobov, David Jones, Dosbrak, we drank it after Artem's win over Paulie Malignani. Malignani? Is that how you say it?
Malignaggi,
yeah. We drank that.
Which is crazy that he won that fight, too. Like, you wouldn't think that one of the world-class boxers, you know, it's just a different sport. That's what people don't understand is the bare knuckle is not boxing. It's different.
I want to ask you about that, Mr. James Krause. What do you think about the bare knuckle fighting championship? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of it. I love it. I mean, it depends on what layer you're asking, Matt. There's a fan, there's a coach, and there's a fighter. As a fan, I love it. Like, I love watching it. I'm all about it. As a coach and as a fighter, I'm all out. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want my guys to have anything to do with it. They're not paying those dudes enough. You might as well start the fight with a cut over your eyebrow and a broken hand. Like it's just so for me, and I hate to say this because I feel like I'm talking bad about these guys. I'm not. But for me, that's a place where older fighters are going to or fighter. It's like an interim. So it's like it's not quite UFC Bellator, but it's also not regional. So it's like it's a place where those guys can go to grab a paycheck that's bigger than a regional scene, but not as good as the UFC. And I'm not saying that's the case for all of them. Don't, I know somebody on here is going to take what I'm saying out of context. That's not what I'm getting at, because there's talent there. There's real talent there. But is anybody, with maybe the exception of Artem, has anybody said, hey, I would rather be in bare knuckle over UFC or over Bellator or over professional boxing, WBC or whatever it is? I just don't see that happening. And why the hell would you want to get in one of those fights like that? Like, dude, you got to get fucked up out of those. You know what I mean? I don't want no part. Look, my hand's already destroyed. It's like this all the time. Like, it's like a mace. I don't want no part of that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out. I love watching
brutal.
It, though. I love watching it.
What was your
Shannon Briggs, right?
Yeah,
Briggs.
He's gonna decimate somebody.
We broke that on the last episode last week. We had BKFC president Dave Feldman on.
Yeah. He's gonna decimate some. You know who they're gonna get for him? I can see it. They're gonna get Bigfoot Silva for him.
Ooh. What about Gonzaga?
That's just my guess. I don't know that.
What about Gonzaga?
Or Gonzaga. He was the second choice, man.
I could see Gonzaga having that. Silva didn't have a good fight with Gonzaga.
No, I can see Gonzaga doing okay just because the clinch and stuff like that. He understands how to grapple a little bit more. But dude, if Briggs hits you, bro, like, at least with Malignaggi coming from a professional boxing background, he was never known to knock people out. He was a volume puncher.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Artem. I think Malignaggi got hit a couple times and got clinched up and got roughed up a little bit, and then his whole demeanor changed.
And he broke his hand too. He could only throw with I think he was only throwing with his jab. He couldn't do anything else.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, and you're going to, man. Like, there's no, that's bone on bone. That's a tough, dude. That's a tough way to make a living, man. I'm out on that. I'll go back to sales or some shit. I ain't ready for that. Hell no.
As a fan, what was your favorite bare knuckle fight that you watched?
That fight wasn't very good, but like what I love about bare knuckle is there's still a really big question mark, and so for me, like, I was really intrigued by that fight. That's obviously wasn't the best fight, but like, I was really intrigued of, like, okay, good UFC fighter, good boxer. How does that? Because it's not boxing. They call it bare knuckle boxing. It's not boxing. It's different. But my favorite fight would probably be Jason Knight and Artem. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was a bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Golly, you know how I love watching on there is Dakota Cochran. Man, he's fun to watch.
Dakota.
He's a Midwest guy.
Yeah,
he's making a name for himself, beating up some UFC vets on there. He's doing great.
I think he's watching the show right now. I think he's on the show. He's doing comments right now.
Dakota's a good dude. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Man, I wish I'd have known that. I wouldn't have said anything good about him.
Oh, shoot. Dakota, where you at?
Yeah, I actually I chatted with him briefly yesterday because I'm doing a bare knuckle. I usually do a bare knuckle prediction show before the pay-per-view, but they're obviously, we're going to do it anyway. Who cares? We'll have some fun. Dakota was on the last one, and I felt bad because he had a fight coming up. They all went to Kansas. And then at the last minute, they pulled the hook on it. So
yeah, we were in Kansas, James. We just flew into Tampa to Denver to Kansas. As soon as I landed in Kansas, the boss, Mr. Feldman's like, it was canceled. So we had to get in a car and drive 21 hours home from Kansas to Tampa.
Oh,
but we made it home safe.
Call me next time. I'm not too far. That's about 3.5 hours from me.
Wichita. There's not much in Wichita. I figured out. There's like a couple bars and stuff.
No, there's not much in Wichita at all.
So let's get back to that fight. So
yes, please.
You and Giles. So what I want to know with you and with Giles is now we're past, getting the fight set up. We got the number that you were looking for, and now it's time to step into the ring. Oh, we got another guest popping on real quick, Mr. Doctor himself. Hold on a second.
Dr. Beau.
Dr. Beau.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, Dr. Beau?
Living the dream, man. Working for the weekend. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, your beard looks good, man. It's growing more, I see.
It's getting a little thicker. Yeah, all the barbershops are closed, so, we're going to come out of this looking homeless after this quarantine's over.
Oh, my God. It's nuts, man. I got Mr. James Krause here in the podcast as well.
What's up?
How's it going, Beau?
Good, man. Didn't mean to interrupt. I was listening.
No.
You're not interrupting.
You're a part of the show. That's it.
Oh, man.
We were actually just talking about Krause's recent fight that he stepped up in weight. And so I wanted to ask you, James, now we're we're getting ready to go. We're getting into the octagon. So what's going on in your head before the announcements?
I mean, at that point, you know what I mean? At that point, you're in. It's just like every other fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's what sucks is, like, I was in good – I stay in good shape. You know what I mean? But good shape and fight shape are not the same, you know? And another thing that sucks is, like, with my style requires high volume.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to fight it another way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I got to press forward the whole time. So that I knew that I wasn't going to be able to throw out the volume that I typically would prefer. So when we get in there and we start fighting, one of the things that I really was looking forward to was, like, if I'm fighting at middleweight, like, the hand speed would be different, right? So I was like, because I'm hard to hit clean. I'm hard to hit. I'm hard to hit clean, and I was hoping that his hand speed would be slow enough. I knew he was going to hit hard, and I knew he was going to have heavy limbs, but I was hoping his hand speed would be slow. I was fucking wrong. He was fast. He was really fast.
Wow.
And I don't think he's a middleweight either. Like, he's man, I don't know, man. He got big. The time from weigh-ins, when I stepped across from him at weigh-ins, even in the evening, I didn't feel like he was that much bigger than me. And then the next day, I see him, his ass and legs doubled in size.
Holy shit.
And yeah, he had a huge ass on him, just massive, just an athlete. And as soon as he started throwing punches, I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like, I knew that his hand speed was gonna be, because that's my thing. Is like I can deal with the power. It's the speed that I was worried about. And he was fast. And anyway, and even, like, I got him down in the first, which I know one of the next questions coming is how I lost the first round. I got PTSD from this fight, so this is
that was crazy, man. That was crazy. I was like in the fourth row, and when we heard the cards and we looked them up, and we were like, what in the hell are they watching out there, man?
Yeah, I don't know how you ride somebody's back for 4 minutes and you lose that round. That's beside me. And the guy, what's crazy is the guy, obviously, I don't know if you guys heard the backstory. The guy comes from his gym, is a black belt under his coach. We'll brush that to the side. But the dude that gave him the first round gave me the third round. So it's like, if you give me the first round, which I for sure won, then I won the fight. You know, so it sucks because it's just, you know what I mean? Like, especially all things considered, like the deck that was stacked against me just to go in there, just fighting at the high level, fighting at middleweight. Me fighting at welterweight, I'm not a huge welterweight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big welterweight. But fighting at welterweight, fighting on 18 hours notice or whatever it was, you know, no training camp, training 6 hours on Thursday, the day before. And then I got to fight the judges too. It's just, I don't like to bitch and complain, but damn, man, it made it really hard to win that fight, you know?
So, Dr. Beau, you were there. So, what was your take on that fight?
Yeah, that was a gangster move, man. We were all pretty stoked about it. They stole the show. It was funny because at first, you know, the crowd, obviously, that guy was a hometown boy. They were cheering for him, but as the fight went on, and then you had, you know, the guy stepping up in weight and putting on a hell of a fight and making him miss, man, you could just feel the crowd start to turn and start to cheer for James. And it was a really cool moment, man. It reminded me of the last time I was in Houston for, like, the Diego Sanchez, Gilbert Melendez fight. You can just feel the crowd just start to elevate and escalate. And they're like, I mean, we're seeing something special here. And that's one of those really cool circumstances where you really connect with a fan base and people really realize how gangster some of these fighters are, that they're willing to step into just crazy circumstances. And then even more circumstances, like he was saying, that he didn't know about. It was hard enough. He said, let me step in, fight this guy. He's a hell of an athlete. Oh, and by the way, that the judges, you know, trained out of this guy's coach's gym. And there's certainly some level of conflict of interest there that, you know, unfortunately with the budgets that the state commissions have, you're going to see some funky stuff like that because they just don't have the resources, you know, to really, because it's like a background check, right? Like, you know, when I did I was a fight doc for the one here in Albuquerque in 2014, and that was 8 hours and we got $600 for that. No water breaks, no food breaks. You know, so for me, that's like a pay cut. So, you know, the judges aren't making hardly anything. The refs aren't making hardly anything. And the commissioners are definitely not making anything. So you get what you pay for, unfortunately. So this big $4 billion company can't do a little background check on the athletic commission. It's there's some questions to be asked there.
So as you so let me ask you this. I'm just curious, but as a chiropractor, were you is there other medicine that you studied as well? How did you get to be a doctor, serve as a doctor?
So I'm a naturopath, so I'm a doctor of naturopathy. So we're licensed under the medical board in New Mexico and Illinois. Cool. So in New Mexico, we're considered physicians. Okay. So I've done UFC Legacy, Bellator. I've done a lot of them here in New Mexico, but only in New Mexico.
Gotcha. That's pretty awesome, man. How's that experience for you serving as a ringside doctor?
It depends. It's really stressful sometimes. Like the UFC one, they're pretty well staffed. I think we had 8 docs for that one. So you have 4 at the cage and at least 3 or 4 on the back, including Davidson. So unfortunately, somebody like me, so I don't do stitching or staples. So basically, I'm only really allowed to check concussions and orthopedic testing afterwards. So in some circumstances, having somebody like me is a little bit of a detriment, because if you've got 3 guys that need to get stitched or stapled, all of a sudden you don't have somebody manning the cage. So it just sort of depends. Like with like Legacy, for example, we only had 2 docs, period. So you've got to have both at cage side, and then you've got to do a post-fight physical, and then you're making decisions. And typically we're at a reservation or a casino. Okay. So like we're at least 40 miles from a hospital, right? So you've got to make a decision on somebody gets knocked out cold. Are you sending them to the hospital in an ambulance? And the commission's kind of pushing on you to not do that, right? Okay. Because every time they do that, they've got to incur the cost. And then they want to do a drug test. So I've got a fighter, he's knocked out, KO'd cold, doesn't know where he is. Pupils are completely narrow. And I need to load him into an ambulance, right? But they're like, hey, this fight will not count if he doesn't pee in the cup first. And I'm like, the guy can't pee right now. His pulse rate's 190. Like, I'm scared he might have a subdural hematoma or something like that. We need to send him to get a CT just to make sure. And now you're under the gun. Like, you have to make a life or death decision. And typically they don't like the decisions we make because we're always going to err on the side of caution. So if I have even one glimmer of a doubt, they're going in the ambulance. But then sometimes the fighters don't want to go, and you can't make somebody, at least on those cards. The UFC can push pretty hard on their fighters. But what is Legacy FC or some of those smaller organizations going to do? So it can be really, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of stress for very little money. And I won't do it again, actually. I've already told them I'm not really interested. I don't want to. And they don't take it seriously, honestly. Like you've heard the story about Rogan talking about somebody playing on their phone. Firsthand account at some of the smaller shows, not the Legacy show, but the head doctor, who's a plastic surgeon, who's next to me, is reading a book during the fight.
What?
Yeah, he's got a little. He's texting his girlfriend or something.
Hey, man, I'm even for that, though. Like, they don't – I mean, he's not really needed unless somebody gets knocked out, right? Like, at least like, if you're going to be a judge, like, you better watch the damn fight. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
but also the doctor needs to know what's happening, what caused it, right? So if you didn't see the angle, if you didn't see the way he fell, you don't know if you have a contra-coup injury or he's concussed, or if it was a neck injury or something like that. And then the post-fight physical looks like, hey, did you feel good? All right, see you later. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah. So and that's the name of the game with the lower leagues. There's not a lot of physical going on. The medicals aren't very high level. Now there's some other discussions to be had whether UFC fighters are paying for their own medicals, which you can probably attest to. Not having health insurance. Holding on to injuries and hiding them until after the fight so that you can get them taken care of in that 30-day window post-fight.
I know so many people that have done that. I know so many people that have done that.
Yeah. And being an independent contractor that can't be an independent contractor for other organizations and that is required to wear a uniform and required to check in and have USADA testing, none of those things that are independent contractor related. But the thing is you're talking about a legal juggernaut, and when you have the UFC, and the law team that they have, there's very little chance of beating them in court, unfortunately.
Preach.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is good information, man. This is really good information. So one of our viewers, they said, why don't they piss test before the fight?
That costs money.
Yeah.
Okay.
That costs money. You got to do it with everybody.
Yep.
And they're basically just trying to put obstacles up in front to. I mean, man, that's what he's saying is like what's so what's so wrong with the sport with the judges. Like, there's no funding from the state. I get the funding and stuff, but man, just that right there is all they're doing with that is they're trying to get it to where, like, they're trying to get that guy because they know he can't piss right now, so they're trying to get it to where he stays and it doesn't cost the ER trip. Like, so you know what I mean? Like, it's just bullshit. They're trying to just put hurdles in front that you have to overcome because this guy doesn't want to. He doesn't want, if he just want to fight, he doesn't want to lose the fight. You know what I mean? Or it'd be a no contest because he didn't piss. Like, dude, it's ridiculous. That stuff is ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ethical issues, and we just saw it yesterday. The Council on Boxing Commission, made a pretty clear statement that they are not in support, and I understand that they're a public agency and they have to say the right things, but they're certainly against what is happening with going around all commissions, because they're essentially, in my opinion, I think the UFC needs to pick something. Either you're going to be the commission and you're going to handle those things, and there needs to be some collective bargaining with both fighters and management, or you need to be completely up to the commissions depending on the states. And maybe they just pick 2 states and stop touring around, different states where you don't know what's happening. You don't know who you're dealing with. You say, okay, we're going to listen to California and Nevada because they have the most experience here, and we're not going to go do shows in North Dakota and Montpelier and, all these other places. And frankly, it would be a better deal for the UFC. They don't have to move everything. They don't have to take the vans, move the entire rig and all the staff that works for the UFC that they've got to fly across the country. I know they want to bring the experiences to the fans, but in a lot of ways, the fighters suffer for it because they don't know what commission rules are going to be. And the rules are different in every state too. I mean, Texas, we talked, that was talked about a lot after the fight, that they haven't adopted the new scoring system. Some states haven't adopted the knee rules, and there's a lot of times where there's a lot of confusion with the fighters and the managers and the coaches on what's what. So you train your whole camp assuming a certain set of rules, and then you get there and you're like, oh, by the way, we don't score it like that, and now you've got to change your entire game plan. Just kidding. So it's like, I think you need to pick one, whatever it's going to be. Like, listen, we're based out of Nevada. We are going to make sure everything is clear and transparent. Everybody knows what they're dealing with, or have the UFC actually manage it.
What do you guys think of the in Kansas, the open scoring? What do you guys think about that?
Oh man, look, and this is the only sport in the world where you don't know the damn score, right? Imagine if you're watching an NBA game that goes on over the course of, let's call it 3 or 4 hours, right? There's no way you're going to keep track of the score the whole time. So imagine at the end of the game, you're trying to watch and trying to figure out who won that game. You have no idea. Like, it's ridiculous. You have no idea. So from a fighter perspective, like, look, okay, cool. You don't – and look, I understand there's 50 different commissions and you have to change the rules, all those. This goes back to what you were saying, Beau, is like you have to play the game with the commissions, or if you just went with your own commission, you wouldn't have to deal with this. But we'll play the game the way it is right now. Okay, so 50 commissions, you're not going to change 50 different commissions' decisions like that. It takes time, and then it has to happen all at once because you can't go one place and it'd be one way and the other place and it'd be the other way. Okay, cool. If you're not going to change that, then at least tell me if I'm winning or losing. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Like, at least tell me if I'm winning the damn game or not.
So it's like a double-edged sword, right?
And more accountability. Like, imagine in my fight, at the end of that, they go open scoring and they say Judge Joe Solis scored that round for Trevin Giles. Everybody's like, what? How? You know what I mean? Like, there's some accountability on that as well.
And here's his email address.
Blow this dude up.
I mean, double-edged sword, right? I mean, if you're winning the fight and you know you're winning the fight, you're going to coast. Fans may get pissed, but it's going to obviously force your opponent.
If I'm losing the fight, I got to go after him.
You got to go after him.
This dude's locked in a 30-foot cage with me. He can't go that far.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm bringing the fight to him. You know what I mean? Like, I get what it boils down to is it boils down to that last 30 seconds where they're announcing who wins and who loses. That's what it's about. It's because, like, there's no unfortunately, if you look at like the NBA or NFL, like, if they throw a Hail Mary and they're down by 40, and they score a touchdown, it still doesn't matter.
Right.
In our game, if you throw a Hail Mary and you score, the fight's over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, which is great, but if you're down by 40, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so fucking ridiculous, man, how they do that, because they just want the anticipation of being able to surprise everyone on who wins and who loses, because you don't know. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah, it's like Hollywood, it's that dramatic factor at the end.
It does add drama, yeah. See, I've got two thoughts on it. So obviously there's the perspective from the fighter, which obviously I'm not, and there's a perspective from a fan, which I am. And we can look at two different examples, I think, right off the bat. So like college wrestling, here's a good example. The Brock Lesnar championship match in 2000. He was up 2-0 on escapes. He was wrestling a dude from Iowa. And basically they aggressively penalized him for stalling. So if somebody is up and they know they're up, and then the fighter is aggressively stalling, then the ref could take a point or take 2 points to make sure that we keep some level of action. So that's one interesting part. Because if you look at that,
I think the yellow card, like the old rules, I think we should change the rules all around.
Right.
We all know that's not happening anytime soon, though, right? Like I like the yellow card, which is what you're essentially saying.
Right.
Is like bring out a yellow card, take 20% of their purse. I guarantee that shit'll stop.
Yeah, true. So like in that match, for example, he ended up losing 2 points last minute and went to overtime and went to riding time. So it probably in a bubble, if it wasn't near the end of a national championship match, no way would somebody have been penalized those stall points that quickly. So then you look at the boxing match. I'm thinking of Canelo and Austin Trout, and I think that fight was in San Antonio, and that was an open scoring system. So
It was.
Many people thought that Trout was actually winning through 8 rounds, but when the cards came out, it was like 7-1. And so then Canelo basically scrambled the last 4 rounds and made it really boring. And if you look at their fighting styles, Trout's a boxer. He's a precision guy. He's not a knockout guy. Mm-hmm. So if it was the other way, you would have seen more action. Canelo going for the finish because he's a finisher. Right. So that from a fan perspective, that particular fight was bad. Mm-hmm. Now, but boxing, it's a lot harder to get that Hail Mary than it is in MMA. There's a lot more tools in the toolkit. So I don't know. I think it's smart to try it out in a couple states and let's see how it works.
What about ex-fighters as judges?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to. The problem. I mean, I like it. The problem with it is they're all going to have an affiliation with somebody.
Right.
I get that.
That's the problem. But I would rather have somebody with a slight affiliation with somebody. Man, I think it boils down to accountability, and there has to be consequence. That's what I'm saying. And even at a lower level, because the higher I feel like at the UFC level, the guys are like, oh, they're celebritized as a judge. Like, I'm judging for the UFC tonight, so I gotta be on my shit. At a lower level, like even some of the guys that I have fighting that are like, let's say they're 1 win away from going on Contender Series and changing their life. Like, there is no consequence. If you fuck up a decision, they get paid the same, and they go home and they don't lose a minute of sleep that night, right? Like, it's like what I say is final. Like, and that's how. And dude, it's so ridiculously hard to overturn something that should be like thrown out. Like, if there's legitimate like evidence, and the problem is they won't, because the commission has to back their guy. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's absurd how the system is, and there has to be some kind of change from all this. You know what I mean? It's absurd. It really is.
You know what I'd like to see, and call me crazy, and maybe because I'm a baseball fan, but you know how like they have the instant replay rule, and they call New York and they got to phone in. If they had somebody that was like in the press box somewhere that was just watching it on screen, not live, and that's like that, you make that call like, hey, do you see it the same way?
Are you saying the judging should be like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Like, just like a set of like eyes in the sky, like, hey, you know what? Let's check the booth real quick before we make this final decision,
Or you could do 5 judges, 3 live, 2 booth, or whatever. Yeah. Because I'm telling you right now, like, I score a fight. I see this with myself a lot. I score a fight differently. Like when I was watching Volkanovski and Holloway, I was texting my student Grant Dawson. He's in the UFC too, and he's saying, "Dude, Volkanovski's up." And I'm like, man, when Volkanovski blasts him, you don't hear anything, but when Max touches him, the crowd goes crazy. Yeah. So I personally thought the judges, I had it for Volkanovski 4-1, but I thought that they were going to score it way closer than they did. And you've seen that happen. You know what I mean? Where you watch a fight live, it's way different than on TV. So then you got to figure out, do you want to score it live or do you want to score it on a screen? And that's which one's the better look.
Sure. True. And it depends. Like for example, the judges don't get to see those replays really at the end of the round because they don't have replay monitors. And like for same card, right? So the Jones Reyes card. In the arena, they showed the highlights of the second round where they had a lot of like left hooks landed for Jones, and I bought the pay-per-view and they didn't show that on the pay-per-view. So that's one of those contentious rounds. And then, like he's saying, some fighters are more fan favorite, and then some fighters are so dominant that if anything's even close on them, it sways people.
You get a sympathy round.
Yeah.
You get a, like if you blow somebody out the first round and then it's a close round, they'll give it to the other guy the next round.
Right.
Because you blew
so
him
like,
out of the water the first round.
Like Conor Khabib, right? Everybody scored that third round for Conor, but that was pretty close to a 10-10. I mean,
it was a sympathy round. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, was that the same? Was that the same as somebody mounting somebody and slamming ground and pound for 4 minutes on them? So it seems to me like if we would really adhere to 10-10 rounds and 10-8 rounds, I think that would go a long way. You know, you never see it, but like if it's close and you don't really have somebody one way or another, why don't we score it a 10-10?
10-10, yep.
Yeah.
10-10, 100% agree. 100% agree.
I like that.
10-9 is not a 10-9, it's not a 10-9.
Yeah.
You know, a dominant round with ground and pound and submission attempts where, you know, you've completely controlled the action, you've damaged them, you've put them in danger. How is that the same as out jabbing somebody by 2 shots? You know?
Yep. Especially the rounds where they're feeling each other out and they're like just, you know, like, and there's nothing there. You got to pick a winner. It's like nobody won that round.
Yeah, the Stylebender Yoel fight, like
nobody
won.
Those
rounds where it's like
rounds.
8-6 or 7-5, you know, like so. He landed one heavier leg kick that round, you know.
It can literally be 30-27 either way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or 50-45 either way. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's like
when those should be 10-10 rounds, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So that really dilutes rounds like James' first round in that other fight where he didn't even win it, but I mean that should have been, if not 10-9, 10-8, if the round where he won in the third, which was very controversial, is a 10-10. If you have to think about it, if you don't know, it should be a 10-10.
Yeah. And I thought I won that one too, damn it.
I thought you won it too, actually.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've become a fan favorite that way. Dr. Beau, though, you've been beating up on Yoel Romero, bro. What's up with that, man? Look at this.
Yeah, back to the hotel room, man. Things get a little freaky. He said he was going to see me soon, boy, and he did.
How long after the fight did he see you?
I just saw him briefly in the hotel afterwards. This was like maybe 5 weeks before the fight. This was actually in Houston. This is a James fight. You know, he just wanted to tune up. So, and I didn't realize, like a lot of people don't know this about Yoel, but he like 15 years ago, he was doing a backflip and he completely fractured his C4, blew it to pieces. So he's actually fused from like C3 to C6 in his spine. So his spine, it's got rods in it. It doesn't move. Wow.
I just found out I have a neck thing going on right now too. I just found out I went to the doctor the other day in order to do an MRI. They need to do an X-ray. I just found out I had at some point I had broken my neck. I have no idea when.
Oh.
I was like,
hey, did you know you broke your neck? You're like, no.
I didn't, but it makes sense. I see it now.
Yeah, hey, Dr. Beau, do me a favor. I shared that video from your YouTube, so don't red flag me, please.
Nope. You're gonna get copy strike, bud. Content IDing that. Give me the money.
Done. Pay me now.
Where's the money, Lebowski? Give me the money, Lebowski.
Show me the money. 10-10, not a bad idea, really. Best I've heard from. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Kaylee. X is silent.
And it does exist. Judges just functionally don't use them. They refuse. So, you know, the commission or the UFC or somebody would have to force that implementation. And again, going back to what we were talking about, that's a boxing scoring system. No. So I think maybe even from a better perspective, say every round starts out 7-7, and then once you've done enough things, you get another point, right? You land a knockdown, you get a point. You win the grappling exchange, you get a point. You know, some way where there's more objective scoring would be more effective.
I think that changed the game of the fight too. I think that's a pretty interesting concept.
It's tough because, like, let's say, like, I'm like this. I'm more of a volume guy. So, like, let's say I hit somebody 8 times with a jab that doesn't do much, but then they hit me hard one time. You know, what is the equation of that? You know what I mean? Like,
and we probably should have a formula, right? Like,
well, it's hard. I don't think you can ever. That's like replacing drones with humans. You know what I mean? Like, it's great, but then there are some situations where intuition supersedes all.
Sure.
You know, so you gotta find that. You gotta find
many judges score knockdowns very heavily in 10-8 rounds, right? very few judges score submission attempts as 10-8 rounds. So, having the boxing bias is pretty clear. And then oftentimes they can't really tell when it's live if it's a slip or not, and that's tricky too.
Or takedown defense. Like, that's another thing. Like, nobody gets scored positively for defending a takedown. If they score the actual takedown so heavy, but if I stopped 6 on the way to that 1, like, I should get something. You know what I mean? Like that. It's crazy, man. It's so. It's so weird how they do it, and there's no like set rules, but it's just kind of like been like molded to this way. This is the way you do it now. You know? It's weird.
And as the game has evolved, it's been interesting to see like some of the changes too. Like, when you go back to the 90s when BJJ was the dominant force, everybody was like, oh shit, like all these ground and pound guys are now getting submitted all of a sudden. And the scoring was obviously not the same back then either. And then as the game evolved, you saw a change, right? You saw some Muay Thai guys. And then all of a sudden you saw the era of the wrestle boxer, where the D1 guys that learned how to throw a big left or a big right became dominant. Well, then what happens? And we got guys that throw leg kicks. And then you got guys that are now getting better head movement. So as the game evolves, you're not seeing the scoring really evolve. And so you still have this
That's
very
the same scoring we started with.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous, man. It's absurd. You got to get me riled up.
Hey, well, hey, James, let me ask you this. So you had this amazing fight. You are revered by the fans right now. I mean, I've seen so much on social media, the respect people have for you. You're a fan favorite for sure, man. Now, you took the fight short notice. You went up in weight to have this fight, close fight. Would you consider a rematch on proper training?
Oh, if I could pick my next fight, I would fight him again at middleweight with a full camp. That would be if I could pick my next fight, that would be who I would fight with a full camp. 1,000%. That dude is not better than me. He's not better than me in any like, tell me in that fight what he did better than me. Come on, let's be real. I fought that dude off the couch. Come on, guys. Like, come be real. And I'm not a shit talking. Like, I'm spitting facts. I got off the goddamn couch, fought that dude, went up a weight class after I just went up another weight class. Zero training. None. And who was more tired at the end of that? I was pushing the pace in the third, not him.
True.
I was pushing hard in the third, not him. Like,
gangster,
man, I'll fight that dude. Give me 2 weeks and I'll fight that dude.
I'd like to see it again.
Oh, I'd love
I want to see it again. I would love to see that fight again.
I bet he won't. I
wouldn't if I was him.
I'm gonna put this clip out on social media. Let's see if he wants a rematch. It's worth a shot.
And what sucks about it is the UFC won't do it either, though. Like, Dana came and was like, "I bet you regret doing that." I was like, "I don't regret it at all. What are you talking about?" Like, no, I thought I won the damn fight. What do you mean? I thought I regret it? No.
So the question is, are you going to go to the fight island?
Oh, hell yeah, I'll go. Hell yeah, I'll go.
Hell yeah, I want to go too, man.
Yeah, I'm in, bro. I'm in.
So what rumors have you guys heard? I've heard it. Tony Robbins might have an island, and that might be because he's apparently one of the investors. Is that a rumor you guys have heard?
I heard that.
I haven't heard the island part. I know where the fights are taking place in the States, but I haven't heard where the island is.
The fight island.
Yeah, I have no clue where this island is.
That's kind of cool, man. If I was a fighter, I feel like I would have to get one in on the fight island just to say that I did it.
I'm down with the plot of Mortal Kombat.
Big Papa's back in.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
How y'all doing?
What's up?
Dr. Beau. What are you doing, buddy?
All right, hey, man. I just got done with work, man. I'm not in quarantine.
What's in the background?
What's in the background? Jackson Wink.
Oh, okay, cool. Very cool, man.
We're in Greg Jackson's office. He's got all his favorite leaders here. We got Genghis Khan, Abe Lincoln, George Washington, and Ernest Shackleton.
Very cool.
Map of Rome.
Dude.
Yeah.
Check out
this is where all the film study goes down, man.
So, Dr. Beau, tell me about these lovely ladies that you've been helping out here.
The gentlemen on YouTube watch a lot of them, and they make me a lot of money.
Yes, they do.
That's awesome, man. Man, somebody else is in here. Hold on a second.
What?
Let me hold on a second. Somebody just popped in. Who is this? Is that? Oh, that's Platinum.
What? Mike.
Mike Perry. What's up, Mike Perry?
Yo.
Cool,
What's up?
Yo, I forgot that I was waiting for 8:30 and it's almost 8 o'clock here but I'm an hour behind Florida. My bad. What's up, James Krause and Dr. Beau?
I can't hear what he's
What's going
saying.
on, fellas?
What's up, my long lost twin brother?
How you doing? The beard's looking terrible, bro. Get rid of that shit.
Hey man, the barbers are closed, man.
You gotta just shave it off, man. The 5 o'clock shadow's where it's at.
Is that what you did?
Krause does his own little goatee over there, I'm sure of it.
I thought you were just trying to change your look when you were running from the police after you're smoking people on the boardwalk, bro.
No, man, that's old, man.
That's
I
old.
wasn't running from the police.
That's
I
old
talked
stuff,
to the
man. Why are you
police
talking? Why are you gonna bring up old stuff?
Yeah, right. How you guys doing? What y'all talking about?
We're talking about scoring. James getting screwed over by the judges.
Bro, I can't hear him at all. Is it like I literally didn't hear a word he said.
Oh,
He
really?
Yeah, you can't hear him. He said that he wants to know how we're all doing.
I don't have his audio at all.
Oh, that's crazy.
My phone is fucked up. Or
I can hear
what?
you.
I just read his lips though. I
can hear you, Mike.
Mike, you going to the fight island?
Going to the fight island? Yes, let's
Yeah.
go, man.
He wants to go.
Me and Paul Daly.
There
James
you go.
Krause, you crazy going up to 185. But, I mean, get that check, dog. You a beast, bro. Respect. Let him know. Tell him he didn't hear me.
James, he said much respect to you for going up to 185.
I appreciate that.
He said
Thank
you're
you
a
very
beast.
much, man.
And a beast,
Thank
yes.
you, man. I appreciate that a ton, man. It means a lot coming from you.
For sure, brother.
The
I wish I could
savages.
fucking hear him, goddammit. I can't hear a word he's
He's
saying.
funny, man. You got to hear Platinum
he is.
Mike, man. He's funny.
He's hilarious. I know. That's why I can't hear him. I wonder,
Hello.
should I leave and try to come back? What's wrong?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
you don't want to miss out on Platinum
James-
Mike, man.
James,
He's
pop
always
out,
dropping
pop back in.
knowledge.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this, Mike.
James will pop back in.
God damn it.
You
Because once you know everything that you need to know, then you know everything that you need to know.
Yo, I miss Johnny Bones. I'm out here not too far away, man. I was thinking about coming through Albuquerque for some training. I don't know. I ain't been there in a minute.
Swing through, bro. We're around.
Right? But is guys
through.
working?
Some guys are working. Don't tell the governor.
The quarantine shit, yeah, I know.
We have
Don't
the
tell
front
the
door
governor.
locked so the state police can't come in. But, I mean, there's people going right now a little bit.
I want to go to Johnny Bones' house.
There we go. I got
He
you.
needs to
we
work
got
you on the bow hunting, man. That's what they're working on right now.
He's ready to kill some folk for the quarantine
Dude,
war that's coming
He's
up.
apocalypse ready, man. He's got the Black Rambo hollow points going. He's got a bow hunting now, bro. I'm like, what's next, man? You got samurai swords? I'm scared of Johnny Bones right now.
Yeah, you worked on Johnny Bones. I saw some footage back in the day.
Yep.
Dr. Beau.
That's the homeboy, man.
Yeah. That's pretty cool
Always.
stuff, man. No,
Footage of what?
he was doing his chiropractic skills on him.
Oh, John.
That was him.
Wow.
Him nailing me with a fucking leg kick. You guys see that one?
Yeah.
Shit. I couldn't
You
bend my
never
knee
let
for
me
a
do
week.
that one. You never let me do that one, Dr. Beau.
Come through and do it.
I want to leg kick you, yeah.
Come through and do it, bro. Payback.
He said, yeah.
Hey.
We gotta
Yeah.
come through.
You
Man,
probably
I got-
owe me, man, for me working on you.
Yeah, I got some footage of that, Mike Perry and Dr. Beau, man.
We didn't even post the good stuff, man.
Let me see. Well, actually, I saw some funny shit that you guys did, man. Like Mike, you were in the room with, I guess, one of the other physicians. You guys were screaming. Dr. Beau kept getting up.
Oh yeah, that shit was funny.
And then you knocked out the physician. That was funny, man. I was cracking up with that. That was entertaining, man.
I'm glad. I'm glad people like the video.
Yeah, Mike's always funny. You
Dr.
gotta come through and have Derek do your eyebrows again.
No, man, I do them myself now. I ain't letting no barbers touch
Never.
my eyebrows. I lost the cowboy fight because my eyebrows was fucked up, bro.
Bro, he was legitimately mad. He was legitimately mad about his eyebrows.
Disturbed. I was like, yo, I don't look like a star. This isn't how I'm supposed to be. It affected me mentally.
I don't look like a.
Derek got a little aggressive with the
Krause got
eyebrows.
a haircut today.
Yesterday.
Krause haircut fresh
Yesterday.
right now. Who cut your
Yesterday.
hair,
Yeah.
Krause?
Yesterday. My guy came to me.
That's fresh.
Came to me.
Damn.
yesterday.
Yeah, that's
bro.
a fresh
Yo,
cut right there.
my new trainers are these two little chicas from Texas, bro. These two little chicks gonna be in my corner at my next fight, man. Y'all laughing, but them
I love it.
motherfuckers will put you through cardio hell.
I believe it.
Dr. Beau.
Like 10 high knees,
Ah!
2 burpees, 2 push-ups. Fucking
Oh, that kind of
hell,
cardio.
bro.
I was thinking
What's
some
up,
other kind of
MMA
cardio, bro. It's a
He's-
platinum cardio.
He's talking about naked yoga, bro.
Naked yoga, bro.
That's fun too. Fun, man.
That Kama Sutra shit, man. You gotta be on your P's and Q's and be strong on that stuff.
You know how you get your cardio up? You smoke that nicotine.
I don't think that's right at all. But all right.
In between rounds, you hit the pipe like that one guy hit his inhaler.
Greg Hardy.
Was that razor blades?
No, that was Greg Hardy.
No, that was Greg Hardy.
Greg
hit
Hardy.
that bitch.
That was hard. He
Yeah.
said, "Give me the
Hey,
inhaler, bro."
He fights on 249.
So controversial. Are they doing an
Oh, they're
island
doing a
or are they
2-point?
doing a native reservoir?
No, it's
California, I hear. California.
Yeah, it's in
But
California.
it's a reservoir.
Yeah.
on
Indian
Indian land,
Reservation, California.
It's Indian land. That's crazy, bro.
That's
I wanna
closed
see the
door?
island though.
It's like
Closed
Pet
door,
Cemetery, man. You gotta be careful.
I'll fight
Pet
James
cemetery.
Krause on the island.
On the
Hey,
island,
Mike.
man.
You gotta cut that weight though. I ain't going up to 85 pounds.
What are you talking?
Mike,
You're bigger than I am. What do you mean?
Hey, let me ask
I
any of you
was
guys
new-
open question for you guys. But what do you guys think of, like, you know, with all this COVID-19 shit going on, every single sport has been shut down. How do you think UFC's been handling all this? I personally love it, the way they've been doing things. What do you guys think, honestly?
Let him work, man. I'm with it.
They let that one show go. Gilbert Burns is the star of the show right now with what he did to Damian Maya in the empty arena. That was pretty crazy. I couldn't imagine fighting in an empty arena like that.
You know, my thoughts are this. You know, I have really libertarian leanings. So you're telling me that these people are going out there risking their lives, having people kicking them in the head and punching them. You know, they know the risk of that. So if somebody knows the risk of COVID and they're doing all the proper testing and they're willing to go out there and put it out like that, I don't see why another organizing body needs to step in and interfere with that. Like, you know, football's already dangerous.
Feed your family,
UFC's
man.
you know,
You still gotta feed your family.
they got to feed their family, and like I said, like
Beau, money.
And like I said, you know, these guys,
Yeah,
it's a risk every time. So if we're gonna say we're not gonna do this because it's risky, there'll never be a fight.
That's a good point. I just had a meeting at my job today. Another 2 months I got to work from home because of this. So it's just crazy, like the way everything's been shut down. But you're right, Mike. Money. I mean, no question about it.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole
got-
COVID thing is like about money.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like,
Big
I'd like
business
to.
swing. They shut shit down. Motherfuckers scared to talk about it. When I said it, y'all kind of was like, oh, I don't know.
I'm good to talk
Dude,
about
I
it.
think it's
I'm good.
What's crazy? Here's crazy is they're keeping they're keeping some stores open, like they're keeping liquor stores open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how is that essential? Like, does somebody explain how?
Because
that
you got to
is
keep people
essential?
drunk during quarantine, James, man.
So
you got to keep them
like
occupied.
Target, I know, but like Target, like Walmart, okay, like I get we have to keep those open for the go get supply, but now you basically have like 2 or 3 centers where everybody's gonna flock to. You don't think they're gonna, if somebody has it, they're gonna get it from there? Like,
Yeah.
it's it just doesn't make sense to me,
100%.
man. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
What can you do? You could just sit here and wait. I mean, we got to work out, though. I'm just starting to work out, and it's hard without the – I don't know, though, to be honest with you. I haven't had motivation for a little while now, and I'm trying to find it. And I don't know if a name on a contract would do it. I don't know. I just got to do it. So, I mean, I don't know. How do you do it, Krause? Because you always seem prepared, bro.
Man, I don't know, bro. Like, I've been doing this for almost 15 years. I'll be like 67 fights, pro and amateur. Man, I just love it, man. I really do. I love every bit of it. I love coach. And for me, I think there's an easy segue because I coach. We have 5 guys in the UFC, and I head coach 5 guys in the UFC. So like that's like an easy segue for
That's
me.
helpful,
You know what
right?
I mean? Like
being in the corner.
very, 100% it is, man. 100% it is. I just love it, man. It's not work to me. I've been broke. I've worked 9 to 5. I don't ever want to do that ever again. So I think maybe the answer is like just being grateful for the position. That, I mean, not to sound like a corny fuck or anything, but like just being grateful for the position to be. You know what I mean? Like to be able to do this kind of stuff, to be able to fight and compete and do what we love every day. Like for me, that's more than enough. Because I tell you what, I never would have made it like
out
this.
Sucks though.
I don't mind it, man. Come through, bro. You got to come through, man. If you ain't working out, we're still working out. We're still working out.
Where
We're
you
not
at?
open for business. Kansas City.
Kansas City. Y'all ain't really on quarantine, are you? In the country out there?
Yeah, we are. We are. We are. But my guy. So
Where are you, Mike?
Guys, like, man,
Where are you, Mike?
I'm in Texas right now, man.
Texas.
Lubbock?
what are you in Texas for?
How you do that, Dr. Beau?
I got mind control.
Who knows about Lubbock, Texas, man?
Your boy right here.
There's a couple. I mean, you know.
I do know.
Shit. Hey, y'all see my tag name?
Yep.
Platino
Tag
Poppy.
name, baby.
I was trying to pronounce it
Oh,
like for
all right.
the last 5 minutes. Like Platino Poppy.
He's 2% Mexican now.
Shit.
Texas will
shit.
do that to you.
Yeah, they said I look like a Mexican cartel member.
I'm with it.
I love it.
We'll have another racial draft. We're going to draft a Platinum Mike for the Mexican team.
Oh, we're gonna do a Chappelle Show rerun.
You Mexican,
Yeah.
Dr. Beau?
¿Ah? Yeah, tú sabes.
You Mexican?
Este idioma es segunda.
Hey, orale.
Hold on, let me pull up
Hey,
the
he said.
subtitles real quick.
Pinche way.
Come on, bro. Vato. We had this running joke, right? So, like, Mike used to get real mad. He's like, why are they saying we look like each other, man? Stop it. And so I was like, bro, here's the thing. We were twins separated at birth. And, like, I got picked up by a suburban family. And Mike grew up in the hood. Nature versus nurture, son.
That's funny shit,
That's
man.
awesome.
That's fucked up, bro. You became a
Said that's
doctor, and I gotta get hit for a living.
Yeah, you got
I
platinum
guess
written
I
on your
don't gotta
face.
get hit. I gotta stop getting hit. That's what I gotta do.
Hey,
But you also get to hit people, too.
I'm trying not to get hit.
True.
That's it right there. I gotta hit. I'm gonna go out, bro. See, that's how I've been training. I've been drinking, smoking, and I go to the gym and I just fight these motherfuckers with everything I got left in me every fucking second of every minute until the
I
round is
believe that.
over. And then I die on the floor. And then when the next round starts, I get up and I do it again. And I'm gasping for air the whole time. But you know what? It's a good time. You're right, Krause. It is fun.
It's
a good
fun.
Mike, I
man.
need an update on the Michael J. White situation, bro. What's going on, man?
He blocked
that-
me when I called
Is
him
that
a
squashed?
nigga. When I said he a bitch ass nigga, he blocked me.
So it's not squashed.
Man, I'm waiting to get to Cali. I'm waiting to get to Cali so I can pull up on his ass in his gym and see what he want to do, what he want to talk about. Let's see the movie technique, motherfucker.
Oh shit!
It's going down, man.
I ain't about no fake shit. I'm about that real
I
shit.
believe it. Mike,
Oh
you're
my
fucking
God.
hilarious, man.
Hey, he's a big boy though, man. He came through here, man. I worked on him. He's like, he's not gonna pass USADA. I promise you that. But
the
that
bigger
dude's
they are,
like,
the harder they fall. Damn it.
oh shit, it's going
Yeah,
down.
I wonder who'll win that
Yeah,
one.
steroids will do that to you when you're trying to look good for movies.
Platino Poppy versus Michael J. White on the Fight Island. Let's go.
Where's Dana?
Dr.
Where's
Beau
Dana?
dropping it, dude.
Hey,
Let's
I said
go.
Dana White's
Dr. Beau, did you
backyard.
study marketing and advertising
Does he
too?
want-
That was pretty
You
good.
want to talk about Kimbo?
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're gonna go Bird Box. That way they don't know where they're going. You know, Bird Box motherfuckers. Because they said that no one's allowed to see where the island
this
is,
camera's
right?
messing me up. This shit is backwards. I don't know which way is which.
It's like the Brady Bunch in this motherfucker.
Ah! Which one's Marsha?
Hey, who said that? I'm Marsha, bitch. I'm the pretty one.
I'm Alice.
You know, Krause got the haircut.
I live in the refrigerator.
She got hit in the nose with that football though, didn't she?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
you
no.
see my nose, bitch.
Oh no, he walked into that.
Yeah, I see.
Hey, by
Yo,
the way, he won that fight too. Speaking of bad decisions, we were just talking about how James got robbed. Yeah, Platino Poppy got robbed on that one.
You gotta win. You know what? I told myself in the middle of that fight, I was fighting him and I was thinking of moving pretty good. And I said, man, put your foot down and press this motherfucker back. Show him he can't go forward. Because all week I said, I don't want to go to the hospital in Uruguay. And then I was having a conversation with myself. And I was like, nah, I'm going to just keep sliding and sticking. And I should have put my foot down. I should have went forward. And I probably would have knocked his ass down or something. But it is what it is. On to the next one. Don't matter what we did yesterday. It's what we do tomorrow.
Yeah. I blame Carol Baskins for these fucking bad decisions, man.
Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins' fault. Carol fucking Baskins.
You bet goddamn right.
I can't just shout random shit.
Bro, I got PTSD from my fight, man. I don't know how the fuck you're in these wars all the time, Mike. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of that PTSD, bro. Bro, I don't want to do those anymore, man. Those are fun, man.
You know what kills me is I have a bad habit of sitting down and when they kick, and I block with my arms, and it fucks my arms and hands up. And I need to get more to the Yoel does it real well, where he raises his arm to his head and he just moves away from the kick. Like those guys in Thailand, Sanchai from Thailand, he does it real well. They practice it every day, bare shin. And
they're moving their feet though, but if you do that, you lose that power though. You
lose that power, but he's still able to knock guys out with those head kicks. So it's really confusing because you don't know the level of those guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, MMA movement is different. There's a different range, and the clinch is involved with wrestling. But you know, I gotta work on something from getting kicked in my arms. That's what got me kicked in my head in my last fight. He kicked me in the arm, and I blocked it like a boxing block, and it almost snapped my arm in half. So then the next kick, I put it to my body, and it went over my fist and hit me in the head. That was it. Next thing I knew, I was in the locker room.
He's tough, man. He's
good. He's a good motherfucker. He's doing well.
He's good.
I want to fight his ass again. His ass again, right? Like, but I got to do something to earn that. So I'm gonna do that. We'll see when this quarantine shit over. They gonna want people to fight.
Yep.
Right away. I'm sure you're gonna be one motherfucker they talking about, and I'll be on a card soon too. So I'm starting to train with my two little shorties out here in Texas. They putting me through cardio hell. I'm gonna be ready, vaping all, man.
Hey, I don't want to see no platinum fight until we get that goddamn Michael Jai White, Platino Poppy on the island. Let's fucking go.
I appreciate you. I'm gonna need $2 million for that though. I'm gonna need $1 million or something.
Let's go.
1-and-1 or like pay-per-view.
Tony Robbins, pitch in. We know you got money, Tony Robbins.
Tony.
Oh, we got Mike Perry is hilarious. You got fans, bro.
Let's go. They do show love. They show love. The fans. They also talk shit.
But
they show love too.
Bro, Mike, I can't handle some of these guys.
I want to ask, bro, because you're a warrior, bro, and I enjoy watching you fight, and the intensity you bring to the game is great. I asked James Krause this earlier. I ask a lot of fighters this because I'm a fan of bare knuckle. What do you think of this bare knuckle fighting?
I mean, it's a good place to go for these motherfuckers. I ain't trying to go in there though.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
James said the same thing.
I punched too hard.
Get him. I don't hit hard enough, but everything else, I agree with him.
Hey, they got Shannon Briggs in there now, man.
That's a big signing right there.
Could you imagine fighting Shannon Briggs, bare knuckle boxing? Oh God!
Y'all need to let Alex Nicholson. Y'all need to let the Spartan Nicholson fight Shannon Briggs in bare knuckle. He's ready. My boy Alex ready.
I'll watch that. I'm in on that.
Hell yeah! Take my money.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
I'm in on that.
Hey, that's my boy too, man.
You
Alex
heard
is man.
People take their money.
They could take my money, bro.
Alex is a savage. I be the only one have to spar his ass because I'm the only one willing to throw. Ridiculous. I don't want to spar his big ass. He 240 pounds.
Damn, that's big. What is Briggs at? Is he about 260 or he's up there, right?
He probably 240, 230.
Big.
He ripped up. He a
Big.
beast. He an old ass beast.
Dude is 48, bro. He's like Yoel Romero rip shit, bro.
He's big.
Like older dude
That's that
that
old
just
man strength.
It's like when my dad used to shake my hand when I was a kid. It was like, where do you get the strength from? You don't even look this strong. The old man strength, bro. That's true.
I'm trying to get to South Florida and do some training with Yoel Romero.
Oh, that'd be cool, man. That'd be YouTube worthy shit right there.
You can teach me how to be a better me.
See, I'm just trying to see a video of Platinum in the club, Latino Poppy, Yoel Romero, Jorge Masvidal. I want to see Night Out like Jersey Shore style and see what the fuck happens. That's what I'm trying to see.
That's gonna be great.
Get a reality show, man. Get the fucking reality show.
After I fought in Orlando, we got a photo, me, Abe, and Yoel in my eye, and I was wiping my eye with $100 bills.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Yoel came through.
Yeah, I seen that.
Bro.
It's not very sanitary.
Probably not.
They're like, don't touch your face. Takes the dirtiest shit ever, rubs it all over.
Most people, they not doing drugs with hundreds. They sniffing with 20s.
Okay. That makes sense.
Is that what a lot of people do during this quarantine right now?
Now they eat mushrooms and go biking in the mountains. That's what they do.
See, I'm in South Florida, man. So every drug goes down here. It's crazy. You don't even know who's got what on it, man.
South Florida, where?
I'm in West Palm Beach. So West Palm Beach.
It's nice out there. I love Florida. Yeah. I'm trying to get my little baby to move out there with me.
I thought that's where you were. Are you not from Florida?
I am. I'm from Flint, Michigan, but then I've been doing a lot. I've lived in Florida for quite some time. I love Florida.
You're a Popka, right? Orlando?
Orlando, Apopka.
Apopka?
I went to Apopka High School. But
how old are you?
I'm out here I'm just out here in Texas right now because I'm trying to quarantine.
Mike, what year you graduated high school?
2011.
Oh shit!
Give you double middle fingers, but I'm holding my phone in one hand. So.
Give it to me. I was gonna say my homeboy went there, but he's like 7 years older than you. You're a baby.
Damn. When did you graduate, James?
Yeah, I guess I'm still young.
04?
Krause, how old are you?
I'm 33. I'll be 34 in June.
Shit, I'm the old man in here.
How old are you?
37.
I'm 36, bro.
See all this gray?
I'm still young though.
28.
I'm still young. I move like a youngin.
I talk young.
Yeah, that's good.
I look young. That's about it.
Still got some years. Floyd and Yoel. Floyd Mayweather and Yoel make me think that we could just keep going for a while.
Man, those guys, I don't know, man. Those guys are something special.
Floyd Mayweather mastered his
Yoel.
craft, dude. He just found it, Floyd Mayweather. He found it and just ran with it, bro. He didn't give a fuck what anybody had to say. He ran. He developed that defense, and that was that.
Hey, didn't his daughter just stab somebody?
Yeah, definitely.
What, over toilet paper or something? What the fuck?
I don't know. I didn't read the whole story. I just saw the headline. It was like Mayweather's daughter stabbed somebody. I was like,
I didn't hear about that shit. You would think she'd have good hands.
Young boy.
Really?
A rapper, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Damn, bro.
Shit.
I would think Floyd Mayweather's daughter would have better hands than instead of using a knife, bro. That's kind of crazy.
She skipped all that. She going straight for the kill. That's how you win.
Go for the jugular, man.
She poked that bitch. She won that fight.
Yo. Mayweather had a rough couple months, bro. His uncle died, bro. His trainer. That was Roger Mayweather, bro. Crazy.
That guy's a legend, man.
I mean, look though, Mayweather started with a hell of a team. He had hell of a great guidance all the way from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
And I'm at this point, and I guess I've been at this point really where I'm kind of looking to, like, I don't have a team right now, and I've been doing platinum martial arts with myself and like whoever wants to work at whatever gym or whatever location. So the way I see it is like these girls really could be in my corner, and I will whoop a motherfucker ass if they prepare me cardio wise, I eat healthy, and I know how to fight. So, like,
Mike, you got to
I don't
come
see
up,
why
dog.
not.
For real, bro. Come up. We're not far from you, bro. Come up. I'm dead serious, man. You let me know when. We'll connect after this,
Straight
bro.
up.
For real, you should come up. At least come up for a week or whatever. Let's see if you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds great.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
I
I
gotta
gotta
jump,
hit
guys.
you up on IG, Krause.
Yes, hit me up, man. Let's get you in here for real. I'm being dead serious, man. Come up for a week or two or however long you want, man.
Sounds great, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate the offer, man.
Damn, how come I didn't get
I
an
gotta
invite,
jump,
man?
guys.
I feel kind of left out.
You guys, all y'all.
I know I want to go back. I know I want to go back to you too, Dr. Beau. I want to go see Jackson Week again because motherfuckers don't think I'm coming back. And I love John, and he's mad at me because I left. But I left for other reasons. There was, like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I never said anything about it. And as far as I've heard, he's talked a little crazy about me. I just want to say, the relationship with Frank the Tank kind of, it wasn't professional, and it needed to be more professional. I need a more professional handling. And because I get reckless and like, we're all fighters. We all just want to turn up, but we gotta be professional. So, with the Snapchat here is breaking out. Everybody's falling away. It's just down to us three now.
And then there was 3. Yeah, Krause.
I gotta get back to Jackson Wink. I want John to love me again, bro. He's a good dude.
Let's work on that, man.
He's the best fighter ever, and he's still my favorite. So I gotta go back.
Yeah, we got to make it right, bro.
And then I'm gonna go see Krause or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sure. And
He's going on tour.
You gotta put some black in that beard. I know your girl hate that shit, man. Come on, be pretty for your girl, man. You got a pretty girl on your hand.
Man, we growing it out, bro.
How long you going, bro?
No, well, put it black at least if you're gonna grow it out.
I'm waiting for this to turn gray, man. Like, where's this
You
at?
look like one of them homeless out there in Albuquerque, man. Come on.
This is wisdom, man. It's like the silverback gorilla, man. That means you've been around for long enough and survived long enough that you have enough experience to make it.
You like, look at the wisdom. Look at the wisdom on my.
It's like Rafiki, bro. Rafiki.
Duck Dynasty, bro.
You just stroke it, bro. Yeah, Duck Dynasty. Exactly, man. Come on.
That's so crazy, man. Who
hey, man,
Dr. Beau, who you got?
I appreciate y'all's time, brother.
Mike Perry, thank you for coming on, man. This was cool.
No, I appreciate you guys' time. I'm about to get dressed, and we're gonna go get drunk with out here in Texas at some barn party or some shit.
What's up, Mike?
Chris LeBeau, MMA Uncensored.
My man.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me, Dr. Beau. It's good to talk.
Good to see you, brother.
See you soon, brother.
Hell yeah, man.
God bless.
We'll see you, bro.
Take care, bro.
That's a good dude right there. That's a good dude. I love
great,
that guy.
Man. I can interview him all day. He's hilarious.
I love that
guy.
Bro.
Yeah.
He's cool as hell.
Hey, Doc, was that a surprise?
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't seen Platinum in a little while.
Yeah. He's doing okay.
Yeah.
He looks good.
Yeah, he looks good. He's all over the place,
shooting
man.
Pictures of girls in the bed and stuff. I'm like, what's going on?
That's how he lives, bro.
Texas is
He's
hot.
platinum, baby. That's platinum Mike Perry, brother.
Platinum style.
You're damn right. Hey, Dr. Beau, I got 5 questions for you. I do this to every guest.
What you got, bro?
Ready? You ready?
Ready.
It's the name game. Go for it, Big Papa.
This is the name game. MMA Uncensored, Game Up Nutrition, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, family. Here we go. I'm going to give you one name of a fighter or athlete. Give me one word description.
Okay.
Israel Adesanya.
Oh, creative.
Dana White.
Relentless.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sellout.
Wow. Okay. Platinum Mike Perry.
Savage.
You damn right. Last one. Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Ooh, he just...
And segue, his return to the UFC. Who would you like him to fight?
Ooh, boy. Nice.
Had to hit you there.
So dangerous is my word for him. Who is he going to fight at heavyweight or 205?
He's about last I saw him was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. He was about 225-ish.
So he's probably going to fight 205 then.
He's lean. He's strong.
Yeah, I saw him at the BKFC 10
205,
pay-per-view. He was looking pretty lean, man.
I'd like to see him against Thiago Alves or maybe Anthony Smith.
What about
probably Thiago Alves is probably the fight to make, I think.
That'd be a great fight. Yeah.
If they do Reyes Jones, if they don't, I'd like to see maybe you do that. Maybe Rumble comes back and fights Anthony Smith, or gets that makes sense. Maybe Alves is probably the fight to make.
Yeah.
Thiago.
What about heavyweight if he comes back?
At heavyweight, man, I want to see. I mean, there's a million fights I want to see there, man.
Damn right. How about one?
I remember when he broke Andrei Arlovsky's jaw at heavyweight. That was pretty.
Ooh, yeah.
Pretty vicious, man.
That was a he was a tough fucking dude too, man.
Yeah,
Arlovsky, bro.
He kept fighting, man. His teeth were in the back of his mouth, I guess.
Yeah.
And he came back, and
I used to love the fang mouth guard. That was fucking great.
Yeah. I'd like to see Rumble at heavyweight. Maybe the loser of Rosenstruck and Ngannou would be good. Who else is in heavyweight? Derek Lewis would be a good one, man. Derek Lewis and Rumble. I think that'd be exciting.
Derek
fight.
Lewis.
Oh,
the Black Beast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the homie too, man.
That's all, man. Hey, Dr. Beau, you want to be on next week?
It's kind of hard getting a hold of me, man. Come on at some point. Probably not next week, but at some point.
A couple weeks later.
How has things been with you since the quarantine and all this, business wise? I know
we're down some. We're considered essential business and everything, and we're doing all the CDC guidelines and everything. But we'll probably, if this goes 2 months, we'll probably lose $60,000-$70,000 in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
For a business that only nets 140, 150, it's a big chunk.
Yeah,
sure.
So, people, this is, you can buy a lot of Tylenol for $80-$90, which is what our treatments cost. So a lot of people are out of work right now, man. People have been laid off. The unemployment's really high. It's a tough spot. We've been, we've canceled some stuff. We've lowered our prices a little bit to try to make it a little easier for folks, but people are scared, man. So it's a rough time for everybody, man.
It is tough, man. Everybody's going through it, man. I mean, I think it's pretty cool, though. I mean, I have the probably one of the most popular doctors in the world right now on the podcast, which I think is cool. But it's also, it just goes to show, although you're a celebrity doctor, you too are affected by this. So it's not just the common working people,
Yeah, and it's messed up a lot of our collabs too, man. Like, we were supposed to have a video with Action Bronson coming up. Ronnie Chang, the comedian. We were going to be in New York for Fight Week out there with those guys too. With Khabib and Tony and all of them. So there's been a lot of even secondary stuff from our YouTube biz, and we're just kind of sitting around like, what are we going to do next? We're running low on ideas, and
I hear that. But you know what, man? Everything's gonna get back to normal, bro. And once it does,
fingers crossed, man.
Like right now, you got the thinkers and the stinkers, because like it's quarantine time. So people either sitting around with their thumb up their ass, or they're contemplating, all right, what am I gonna do? What's my next plan? So a lot of those people are gonna pop out. So I think everybody's gonna be in good shape once we get through this whole thing.
Yeah, I forgot to ask Platinum if he was going to go with Biden or Trump. Man, that would have been a good answer, I think.
I think that we'll have maybe you and him on again in a couple weeks if you want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. I appreciate your time. Of course, I respect you, and I've followed you for years. And give us your YouTube channel. I want to talk about that before we leave.
What about it?
Tell us about your YouTube channel. How many followers? All that stuff. Because a lot of these people here want to build YouTube channels and they want to know how to do it.
Yeah, I would say this. My channel isn't what I wanted it to be from the get-go. I used to just, put up my doctoral lectures and stuff like that where we talk about really complex subjects, advanced biomechanics and neurophysiology. But the truth is that, less than 1% of the population is going to have real interest in something like that. So what I would tell people is give people, put ideas against the wall, see what people are interested in, what they respond to, and then give the people what they want. Don't give them what you want, give them what they want. So figure out there's a niche that you're interested in, and then what you have to do is just throw a whole bunch of ideas against the wall. And then what people respond to, give them more of that. So in our case, it's crack videos. It's videos that have, big monstrous dudes like Robert Oberst or Yoel Romero. And then, never underestimate people want to see fit chicks too. So
that's right.
We try to give them a little bit of everything. The goal is to make money and to grow your influence. And so, it's worked pretty well. We have like 825,000 subs now.
Wow. What's the most you've made in 1 month off revenue from YouTube? 1 month.
About 60,000 or so.
1 month.
Wow.
1 month.
Unbelievable, man.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man.
Hey,
so if you get the numbers going, it can be pretty lucrative. But you never know what's going to hit and what's not in certain months. Right. But if you get access to certain fighters, guys like Platinum Mike and guys like some of those big names, like anything you touch with them does huge numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, we're thankful to have you on, Mike on, James Krause, and man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on, fellas.
You got it, man.
We'll
see you, gentlemen.
Talk to you
soon.
Take
care.
Later, guys.
Bye. Dr. Beau, that was great, man.
Phenomenal.
Mike Perry, James Krause. I mean,
wow.
what a star-studded event.
Episode
And we're
2.
not done yet, man. We still got Kier Mellour.
2.
The beautiful Kier Mellour is coming on any minute now.
I've been waiting all night for this. I've been waiting all night for this.
Kier is one thing. I'm going to pull up a quick video of Kier so the viewers could see who's coming on next, because not only beautiful, but very talented as well. And you're going to have a great time with Kier for sure. She's great.
At Echo Bikini Girl on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing it, man. She's a model. This is her right here. Model. She's very into eco-friendly fitness.
Yachts.
She cleans beaches in bikinis. I mean, she's awesome. I've had her on the podcast live before, maybe a year ago, and we had a great time, man. Very intelligent. We had a good conversation.
Joe. Nice video, Joe.
Fantastic, man. I love the beach. I love jet skis.
I do. I'm a jet ski fan too, Joe. I like to go to dinghies. It's in the Virgin Islands. It's Honeymoon Beach in the Virgin Islands. I like to go to dinghies. They have beaches like that.
Count me in. Are you gonna give away something? Really help Kier. Kier just logging in now. I want to see if maybe we could have her help us give away some cool Nick and Nate Diaz products.
We've got some stuff, man.
Let's get her in. Let's get. Where's she at?
Let's get her in.
There she is.
There she is.
Hi.
Yay.
What's up, Kier?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you? Is this all right?
Perfect. Actually, you're smart. See, she put her handle on there, just like me. That's the way to do it.
Smart man. Instagram.
Yeah, you got to. You got to. I just had Kier, I pulled up a video of you at some bikini thing on an island somewhere with some chicks on a jet ski.
Yes, that's a good one.
So what was going on with that?
Okay, so that was in the Bahamas outside of Bimini.
Yep.
A girlfriend of mine owns a swimsuit company, and she actually reached out to me. I don't remember when it was. I guess it was early last year. Yeah. And she was like, that's so cool. Like, I want to gift you some bikinis. I want to do a beach cleanup with you. And I was like, cool. So, because she had seen what I was doing. And so we met up. And then, like, right after we did our beach cleanup, she started this other Instagram called Bikini Beach Cleanup. So she hosts Bikini Beach Cleanups also as well. But this trip was just to shoot content for her line, and we also did a beach cleanup, so it was fun. But yeah, awesome. The jet ski picture turned out great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much so.
Well, thank you. I'll pass along the message.
So now, so you do beach cleanup in the Bahamas, South Florida, obviously. You're in Del Rey, right?
Yes.
So how's that been now with this whole quarantine thing? Obviously, the beaches are getting a break, or is there still issues going on, even though there's people aren't physically going to the beach?
Well, I can speak to this firsthand because I snuck onto the beach today.
This is live. If the law enforcement's watching, you're in trouble.
Oh, they are. They found me. They yelled at me, asking me if I could read, and I was like, no, I can't. Sorry. And they just kind of like glared at me, and I was like, oh, I'm like wearing like a little tiny like purple bikini. And another guy like snuck out right behind me. So I don't know if he was gonna if they were gonna arrest us both, but they definitely gave us a hard time. But to answer your question, yeah, it's a mix because there's obviously like washed up trash, but the left trash, which is also an issue, was like non-existent. But I was also kind of on the far end where people don't really go anyway because it's like where people live. But yeah.
All right, we gotta look out for you on these beaches now. You gotta be careful.
Well, now I'm not allowed to like post that I'm there because it's like setting a bad example of whatever.
True.
I'm like, what is the headline going to say? Like, arrest a girl for beach cleaning? Like, really? You know what I mean?
That's
Plus, it's kind of like, well, this is also my job, like to shoot content and be, you know what I mean? So this is essential for me.
This is true. Yeah, because you do great business. I see on social media. Like, you do a lot of those. People like companies send you like products and you open them up and you present them. I've seen some of these videos that you do, but you got like some lucrative stuff going on for yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, the unboxings. Some people like them, some people don't. But yeah, I definitely pride myself on working only with companies that I really resonate with, and I think that my audience will. I don't actually do a lot of them. So when I do say something, people like know that it's legit, and I wouldn't, you know what I mean, just recommend it because I have to fill content. I would rather share tips on like how to be more sustainable with stuff you already have, which is like the anti-influencer almost. But I think it's important because we don't always need to buy new stuff. Sometimes what we have is, I always say the most sustainable item is the one you already have. So even if it's cheap plastic, if you're not buying a new something, and it still has life left in it, then use it until it doesn't,
I'm with you on that. I got to tell you something that I'm spitballing here. It just popped in my head, but MMA Uncensored, we have a very large following, but Chris, who's right here, he's the CEO of MMA Uncensored, and you have women's clothing as well, don't you?
Well,
I think Chris does. He has women's clothing, MMA Uncensored. Do you think you would wear an MMA Uncensored shirt?
I mean, sure. It's not really, my audience is more women, so some women do like MMA.
Okay.
I don't know how
well
well
about
it
the
would
shirt
do
you
for
have
you,
on,
but...
Joe?
I
How
have
about your shirt.
MMA
Netflix
and chill.
Oh, MMA and chill.
That's one of our shirts.
So that goes. See, that could go over well with girls that have boyfriends that like MMA.
Yeah,
they see the MMA and chill. I
mean, I've definitely done the let's all watch the fight together night. So that's a thing.
Well, you know some fighters, right?
I don't know fighters. I know Brittany Palmer and Ariane Celeste. So our boyfriends used to be friends, me and Brittany. So I know those girls through that. And but I never went to one of the fights. I don't know. I lived in LA at the time.
we gotta get Kier on the team, man. We gotta get Kier going to these pay-per-views.
Yay! That's great. Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, we had some fighters on. A lot of things that we're doing with this podcast is combat sports, but we want to also highlight intelligent women that are successful, that are doing things and finding success with their lives. So I always found you interesting because of what you've been doing for the environment. I think that people don't talk about that enough. We're always talking about sports and we're talking about all this other stuff. But the environment, as you could see with everything that's going on, sports has been affected by things that are going on in the environment with this pandemic. So it's really important that we talk about these things so we could get our sports back and get back to normal and maybe live a cleaner lifestyle and be a little more, proactive for what we do. So how things have been for you during this crazy time as far as like business and everything? Have you noticed things slowing down too?
Well, I mean, yes and no. People are shopping online a lot, but I don't know if that will last because not everyone's income is going to keep going, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or hasn't been affected yet, but might be soon. And so, I know people whose jobs are kind of hanging on by a thread and they're hoping that they don't get laid off and that this is over soon, which is awful. It's obviously affecting so many people in so many ways. And honestly, I'm grateful that I'm still doing all right, but a lot of people have it way worse off than me. So I'm just grateful at this point. But Yeah, I mean, MMA, like one of the things they could do, I guess, would be to encourage like reusable cups and stuff at their fights. That would be pretty cool. They could even sell like a limited edition one that people could keep bringing back. That would be cool. And it's like a memento too, you know, which it's like free advertising. That would be cool. And if you want, we could all wear your shirts and do a beach cleanup when this is over. That would be cool.
Great.
Yeah, Chris. Now we're talking. Get the bathing suits made, Chris.
Yes.
We're working on it. Yeah, we'll get it ready.
I feel like MMA and chill would fit.
Yes,
Depending on how big you are.
Yeah. I think we can make it work. I like this idea. And we could even go a step further. We could make it somehow eco-friendly. We could throw some Chris is very creative. So Chris, we could come up with something combat sport and eco-related.
We could do some hemp bikinis or something like that, and maybe.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are doing like recycled plastics. So I don't know what types of plastics or synthetic fibers go to waste.
Yeah.
Through MMA, but maybe like made out of like, I don't know, pads or something that you guys don't use anymore. Something like that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Count me in. Actually, we should do a live podcast at a resort while we do this whole thing. Beach cleanup.
Yeah.
Go to the resort pool, do a live podcast there.
Are we all Floridians here?
It's cool. Yeah, Florida.
All
yeah.
of us,
Well,
okay.
I'm originally from Washington State.
Okay.
And I think he's from.
I'm from Boston.
Not here. Oh, okay. All right, cool. His accent
New York.
gets me every time.
Oh yeah. You could take the kid out of Brooklyn. You can't take the Brooklyn out of the kid.
I always say you can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of me. So.
Yeehaw, baby. I'll kick my boots to that.
So well at Florida. Oh, nice.
What part of Florida are you at? Here.
Delray.
Okay, I'm in Tampa, Newport Richie area, and I think he's near West Palm, right, Joe?
Yeah.
All
I'm right in Boynton Beach. I'm right outside West Palm, so
beautiful area.
One town over.
Yep, the next town up from me.
Yeah, we'll set something up.
Hey, I want to do this giveaway, Chris, and Kier. I want you to help us do the giveaway.
Right.
I'm down.
Awesome.
It's not a lot. I feel like I should be giving away more.
Every episode, some surprise may happen. But tell Chris, explain what you're giving away. What's going on? Who you're associated with? Tell them about Game Up.
All right. So, thankfully, one of my favorite fighters, or two of them, are Nick and Nate Diaz, and I work for them. I help them with their nutrition company, Game Up Nutrition, and they send me stuff, and I give it away. And I want to give some stuff away today. Just why not?
Yeah, that's cool.
Joe, the question. What was the question?
I'm gonna pop the question up, Kier. You want to read this question?
I don't know. Let me see the question.
Oh, it's a good question.
How many submission wins does Nate Diaz have in UFC?
All right.
The winner will get
first to answer.
First
to answer. Okay.
Ooh.
Wins.
Some Game Up Nutrition.
So
CBD,
whoever could. Oh, there
lip
you go.
balm,
That's nice.
some stickers, and
You have to send me a sticker.
I'll send you some stickers, sure. A CBD pre-roll. It's like a joint, but it's CBD.
Oh, that's cool.
Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz at GameUpNutrition.com. If you ever want to order, use code MMA Uncensored, all caps. They'll give you 10% off.
It's pretty sweet.
That's all I
MMA
got.
Uncensored doing it. So first person to answer this question in the chat, Google, Siri, whatever the hell you're going to do, whoever does it faster, whoever's got the quickest draw. So we'll leave that up there. We'll find out.
Somebody's going to win.
Somebody's going to win some lip balm and some joints.
Joints.
It's going to be
CBD
sick.
joint.
Yeah.
Yo, so Kier, what do you think Atlantic Avenue, how dead it is? Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
Yeah, so I wrote. Sorry, I hope you guys don't mind.
No, that's all right. Actually, I was sipping on some tequila earlier, so it's okay.
Yeah, I've got my wine. So, I rode my bike to the beach, and it was weird. It was sad. It honestly, like, I came back and I had kind of a little bit of a breakdown. Like, I got a little upset, honestly. Just, I've been staying in, like, completely staying in. Like, I got, like, like a bike, you know, that's also a desk, so I can like blog while I'm like not just sitting on my ass. And I fucking bought a trampoline. I bought like a little like mini stair stepper. I'm literally going stir crazy. And I was like, all right, I'm going to the beach today. Like, arrest me. And and I rode down Atlantic, and I was just like, I was upset when I got back. Just the whole thing upset me, and yeah, it's dead. It's upsetting.
It's crazy. Like I'll take my bike out, and you know, I like cruising A1A on the bike, you know, and I'm going down A1A. I hang a right onto Atlantic, and I'm like, this is not good because Atlantic Avenue is like in Delray. It's a hot spot. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Las Olas in Fort Lauderdale, if you know. Like it's the main. You know,
main drag.
It's the main drag. It's got everything.
All the other like surrounding cities come to Atlantic Avenue as well. Like all the FAU kids. So it's like packed on a Friday night, or even during like a nice day like today, it would have been swarmed.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy just to see how things are. Everybody's been affected by it. And I feel bad for the businesses. They've been suffering greatly.
Well, Delray was growing so much that a lot of companies or storefronts, restaurants just opened. And that's like, you know what I mean? They just spent all of this money to open or are in the process of about to open. Like, you know, we have downtown Delray or Taste the Ave or something like that, where they set up a table down the whole, you know, Atlantic Avenue, and all the restaurants do their own like presentation. There's like a competition with the decor and stuff like that, and that was canceled, and like a bunch of restaurants had, you know, really kept a tight schedule to be able to open before that, so that could be their big reveal, and totally canceled. Now they can't open, and I just feel so badly for them. I hope that they'll be able to recover.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I think that they're giving people a break on the rent and the business loans and stuff like that. A lot of stuff's on pause right now, which is good. So we just hopefully that'll continue until all this shit is over with. Because I mean, look, I made my house. I made it into a studio, a home office, a gym, and have a tiki bar. So I at least have 4 things going on that I enjoy. So
he's all set up, huh?
I got the tiki bar,
bro.
What
I did? Do you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I haven't adopted them. I'm fostering a mom and 5 kittens. So I literally went from 0 pets and traveling all the time to having 6 cats.
Wow.
Legitimately. And like they're babies, they can't be adopted for another 3 more weeks. So it's really fun to play with them, and they're like tackling each other and rolling around. It's so cute, and it's like the only thing getting me through this, truly.
Can you pop them up on screen right now? Could you grab them?
I can go grab one. Yeah.
Go get.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's get one. Guys, the answer is not 11. I am sorry. How many submission wins did Nate Diaz have in UFC? Maybe that's Take a closer look, because I really want you to win. I really do. Because if you don't win, I'm taking it.
Guess what, Joe? I'm going to double check this answer, but I'm pretty sure Wikipedia is correct. Hashtag Wikipedia.
Okay, I'm coming back with the kittens.
All right, let's see it.
Okay, so I think I'm going to adopt 2, and these are the 2 I think I'm going to keep. So they're both girls.
Oh yeah, they
adorable.
are cute. Yeah, little twins.
So cute.
The one on the face.
The Rumi is the smallest one. She's really tiny.
Little baby.
And she's really sweet. She's actually the bravest and the smartest. And
how old are they?
They're 5 weeks.
Wow.
And I have the mom, and she's like still nursing. It's so cute. Oh my god. Okay, I have to put them back because they're freaking out. They're so cute. They're like, where are we?
Yeah, what's going on here?
So
You're live.
I post them on my Instagram, and and there's a lot of videos if you want to watch them play.
Chris, you got to make.
I think they were tearing her shirt off or something.
Yeah.
Chris, you gotta make some kitten clothes or something. MMA Uncensored.
I mean, I've got some clothes to make. I got bikinis. I got panties. We got little T-shirts for the ladies coming out, and we'll
crop
see what
tops.
happens.
Crop tops.
Yeah, crop tops.
Crop tops, cool.
Yeah, you gotta have a crop top.
Yeah, we're gonna get the crop top ones. Yeah, we're gonna set them up. Probably have them ready in a month.
Deal. Send some to Kier.
Awesome. Yeah,
we'll do a after this shit is over with. We'll do a MMA Uncensored beach cleanup.
I'll be there.
We'll get some fighters to come out and help out. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
that
back
would be
to the
awesome.
community.
Yeah,
That would be awesome. And
we'll have some people there.
I know quite a few fighters that down here in the South Florida area, so we could get some people together that would be interested in doing something like that, and
be great.
I think it'd be fun.
We could even go up there too. Everyone's been saying, "Where's the first place you're gonna go after this?" And I want to hear your guys' answers too, where the first place you're gonna go is. But my favorite place ever is the Don Cesar Hotel in St. Pete Beach, which is in the area.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that would be really fun. Yeah.
I went to a wedding there once, and it was unbelievable.
I want to get married there. I just have to find someone to, that.
Yeah, that will want to do that whole thing with you. Yes. You don't even, you know what? You don't even have to get married to party at the Don Cesar. You could just kind of throw your own shindig.
Yeah, no, I just do. So where do you guys want to go after this? What's the first place? Oh, see?
This is my little Yorkie. Her name is Garney.
So cute.
She's 5 pounds.
So cute.
Yeah, she actually can go with me everywhere. She's like a service dog.
This is my pet right here.
What? An iPhone?
An iPhone. That's all I got.
It's pretty easy.
That's a busy
pretty
phone.
low maintenance.
Very low maintenance. I got to charge the battery. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but. Where do you want to go, Chris?
Let's go to Clearwater Beach and do something, man. It's beautiful.
That's the first place you want to go to?
Clearwater Beach, stay at a hotel close by. I mean, have some barbecue cookouts, take some Jeeps out there off-road.
Oh, that's fun.
Get some kayaks, do something nice for a weekend. Just
So
have a nice
fun.
weekend and do something. Not just go somewhere for a few hours and have to drive back home, saying get a hotel room for a couple nights.
Yeah.
Maybe B&Bs, big house, and do something nice.
That would be fun.
Just chill.
I'm with that, man. I think it would just be nice to get away.
How to recycle. It would be so fun. You guys would be so bored of me over
video. We can put them on Instagram and whatever. I mean, we can make it great.
That would be super fun.
It'd be super fun.
I'll
bring her with us too. She'll help.
Yeah,
My
bring her.
little baby.
What's her name?
Garney.
That's cute.
She's my little sweetie pie.
Yeah, I had plans. I had to cancel them, of course, but I was going to go to see the Yankees and Tampa Bay Rays play. I was going to stay in Tampa for the weekend and just, whatever, just hang out and catch a couple of the ball games. So now that that's canceled, I really don't know what I want to do yet. I'm like kind of one of those people where I get excited when I know I can make plans and do something, and then I think of 100 different places I want to go to, and I'm just going to have to break it all down. But I think I'd like to do like just a quick weekend getaway just to kind of refresh myself and put myself back out there and do something cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe St. Augustine. That would be kind of fun.
Nice. I love it.
Do a little wine tasting and just hang out and get into a little bit of trouble.
Joe.
Is there wine tasting there?
Oh, Steve Tyson said, "Shit, stay at my place." You know what? Count me fucking in, Steve. I'm in.
Steve. Hey,
Steve, great supporter. Thank you, Steve.
Great supporter.
You always support the show.
And
answer the question, Steve. I want to send you some CBD.
Please answer the question.
How many submissions did Nate Diaz have in the
Can
UFC?
I just guess?
Yes, you can guess.
You win.
Just kidding.
She won.
Kidding. No, send it to a fan.
We'll send you a little care package after this for sure.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
That's awesome.
You're very welcome.
Well, we'll definitely collab. Let's stay in touch, Kier. We'll get together. We'll do something cool to help you out. And
I have a thing. I have a sticker I can give you as well. It says "Littering is trashy." That's the shirt I should have worn.
Oh,
I'll send you
okay.
both the sticker.
Deal. I will totally put that on there.
Is there anybody you want to plug? Charities, organizations, any people that need a pick-me-up, a thank you, a hi, I miss you, whatever? Go ahead.
So it's actually my friend Elizabeth Keene's birthday today, and she is to celebrate. She's donating $10 to Feeding America for everyone who posts like a 30-second clip to their story tagging her. It's just at Elizabeth Keene, Keene. And if you post the clip and tag her, she'll donate $10 to Feeding America, which is pretty cool. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
she's
doing that
Instagram?
Today. Yes, on Instagram.
Okay. At Elizabeth Keene on Instagram.
Like
Good.
that?
With an E at the end.
Oh, hold on. Let me get the producer here. Can you put an E at the end of that?
This guy's a producer and a host. He's a man.
I think the hashtag is Hope Sings Eternal.
What is it?
Yeah, that looks right. Hope Sings Eternal. Hashtag
Hope sings eternal.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Let me. You got that? I'm telling the producer. You got that?
All right. Have the ring girl bring you a drink too, Jack.
What's that?
You're empty. You need a drink.
I know. Oh, I'm gonna have a smoke after this.
Cheers.
I might smoke now.
Yes. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
You gotta do
Cheers
it.
to everybody.
This is a quarantine social distance cheer.
It's empty.
That's what it is.
It truly is. Oh no!
I can't get
Mine
up and
is-
make another drink.
I have wine.
Oh, look at you. Show off
She has
you.
the bigger
Show
glass.
off.
She has the big glass, Joe.
Well, I'm just a grown up, and I fill it up to like a decent amount.
She's a
Listen,
grown up.
let me tell you,
the extra trips.
do you know what I've been doing? So for the longest time, I buy all these bottles of wine because I like wine, and I'm in the mood for wine. I'll drink 2 glasses, I'll cork it, and then I'm not in the mood for wine for a week, and then I don't want to drink week-old wine. So I've been wasting. So now I'm buying all the mini bottles of wine, and I just bought like 50 of them, and I put them in my fridge. So now I got 50 small bottles of wine sitting in my fridge.
Are they glass?
It's one bottle, 1 glass per bottle.
Wow.
And
Is it glass or is it plastic?
It's plastic.
Oh.
I know. We're gonna talk about that. It's not. So it's not my fault technically, only because it's the people that make the bottles fault.
I don't know what's worse, wasting wine or using single-use plastic for wine.
knew-
One of the most perfect products ever because it's glass and cork, which you can recycle, and metal. Like there's no plastic involved.
I knew it.
Come on.
Kier, as soon as the words came out of my mouth, I knew I was in trouble. But I had to finish. the sentence.
Okay, so what you need to get
Yes.
this cork that you suck the air out, you pump the air out, and they really do work. And you can drink week-old wine if you pump the air out. And they're plastic, but you use them indefinitely, the corks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they come with a pump. You can find them on Amazon, or I'll send you the link.
So you screw it
I'll
on
link
top
it
of
in
the
my
bottle,
story after this.
and do that. So
You
I'll
pop
get
it in like a regular cork, but it has like
Mm-hmm.
a one-way valve. So then you like pump the air out, and it holds it.
What is
No
that
more
tattoo on
plastic
your
wine.
arm?
You've
What is that
just-
tattoo on your arm?
The
That's
gun.
one- Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thanks.
I like
You
that.
know, not to get too, but people were real concerned that they couldn't buy guns, and they thought it was going to be so easy. And it was like, it's not so easy now, is it? Think we should have more laws? Oh, now the end of the world is like, don't come to me when you need a gun, because I only have one and it's mine.
It's yours.
That's right.
You
People are buying toilet paper and ammunition. I mean, it's crazy out there.
Yeah, I went to the store and they were like, "Oh, we're closed down. The government just called us and told us closed down. You have to get here in like 20 minutes." And I'm like, "I'll be there."
That's
Crazy.
This is a crazy, crazy world we're living in right now. I don't know if we're going to be exactly the same the way we walked into this thing, but
No,
I hope
in some ways we're better and not worse.
Yeah, I just hope people are more self-aware, and respect the world a little bit better, What I can't,
each other.
That's never going to happen. But what I can tell you, is that I've noticed one thing since this whole fucking quarantine thing. I've noticed that at least here in Florida, the weather's been superb. It's like It's almost like, because there's not a lot of cars and there's no trucks on the road, there's no pollution. It's like the Earth's atmosphere is like getting a break now. It's pretty cool to see.
Oh yeah, they're saying that LA is like the cleanest it's ever been, or something like that. And I mean, when I was at the beach today, like the water was so clear, and there were big fish, like big ones, like close to the beach. It's obviously had over a week to like recover since they closed the beaches, and like the wildlife is just like, oh my god, this is ours now. Like,
how about
back? Yeah.
How about like the deer in the Midwest, like coming into the streets now? They're comfortable. They're like, oh, those asshole humans are gone. Let's kind of see what's going on over here.
Yeah, I kind of worry about that. That like once cars get back on the road, it's going to be a
lot of deaths.
A lot more deaths because of that. But on the bright side, the pollution is way down, which is huge. And I hope that people do take that into consideration. I've been trying to share some tips on I have to go after this, but I have been trying to share some tips on how we can still be, you know, ordering takeout and having like groceries delivered and stuff is super wasteful. Obviously, it's a lot more wasteful than going there. And even if you go, they're not allowing you to use your own bags because of germs and things like that. So that's when you have to like reevaluate all the things that you're doing in your home to try to, at least for me, to try to make up that, you know what I mean? To like balance the equilibrium a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll share some tips on my Instagram
Do it
for that tomorrow.
Yeah, tag me in it. I'll share it too.
I will. I have to go. It was really nice meeting you, Chris.
You too.
Nice to see you,
My
Joe.
pleasure.
Yes, nice to see you too.
Yeah, we'll set something up where we all hang out. Bye.
Bye.
As soon as we are over, like, let's plan it. That would be so fun.
Sounds good. That'll
Bye,
be fun.
everyone.
Bye.
God bless you.
All right, MMA Uncensored, episode 2. That's a wrap. Chris, I had a lot of fun, bro.
That was a good show.
That was great, man. We had
My goodness.
the surprise co-host, James Krause. That was a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what, James he might be one of my favorite people in the world right now.
He's cool, man.
I had
the pleasure of talking to James Krause for a couple minutes before we went live, and just a nice guy, man. You know, deadly, but a nice guy, and that's what I like. And then Mike Perry, man. I mean, so funny, such a chill guy. I had a good time. I thought that was cool, and I was glad. I wanted to have James and Mike to have their moment to just interact with one another, and I didn't want to interfere in that too much. I wanted them to talk because I think it was a surprise for both of them. And then the cool thing was James Krause inviting Mike Perry to train with him. I thought that was really cool.
That's a great thing, man. That might be the biggest thing coming from this whole podcast is, another fighter reaching out to another fighter that, really doesn't have a camp right now that, wants to train. I mean, it's only a couple-hour flight.
I hope it happens, man. I hope, and, not for the fact that it happened here on the podcast, but for the fact that there's a guy out there that wants to train, and there's a guy that's offering to help, simple as that. I think it's fucking cool as shit, man. And Dr. Beau, class act, great guy. He had a lot of cool, insightful things to say about the sport, and I definitely would like to talk to him again. I know he called in late. He had patience, but I really want to know his story. I want to know how he got started. I'm real interested in that. So I say let's reach out to him in the future and get him on, and I want to have a one-on-one with him.
Absolutely, we'll get him on soon, and maybe James will want to co-host again soon because that's a smart dude. He's a great dude, a family guy. We're all family guys, Joe.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Well, I had a great time. Chris, it's been fun. I'd like the first person that answered was Carlos Leon. They were the first to answer 8. Even though we gave it away, they were still the first one to post it. So
we'll take care of it. Have him DM me his address, and I'll send it out in the next couple days.
Congratulations, Kerry.
Congratulations. I appreciate Kier, Platinum Mike Perry, James Krause, my friend Dr. Beau Hightower, man. That guy is a phenomenal human being.
A gem, bro. He's a gem.
Our host, producer. I mean, you got 3 hats on here. We appreciate you.
My pleasure,
MMA
brother.
Uncensored,
My pleasure.
You're part of the team, and we appreciate you, Joe.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you as well. And I look forward to next week. What do we got next week? What's coming up?
I think the James Krause is going to be on next week. Maybe Artem Lobov. I'll figure it out tomorrow, and we'll get back to everybody.
Sounds good.
I'm hoping Anthony Rumble Johnson comes on soon.
Rumble.
That's my
buddy.
Just
2 episodes in a row, Rumble. Your name has been dropped. I think so. Sounds good. Well, Chris, thank you very much, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. And everybody that tuned in, thank you very much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. It's going to help us grow this thing because we're gonna make this something special. And I want everybody to be along for the ride.
Thank you, Joe.
You got it. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Later.